Miami, an Odyssey sports station. The home of champions. Home of the 5-time national champion Miami Hurricanes.
The back-to-back Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers.
The 3-time NBA champion Miami Heat. Miami Hurricanes basketball. And now, the new home of the 2-time World Series winner Miami Marlins.
Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
In Miami, we go to the beach for a little solcito, and when you want a low price, you save with your Pricito. Save now with your Pricito at Doral Hyundai. The Dolphins fell to the Giants 26-3. Cam Miller started the game, went 6 for 11, 60 yards, 2 sacks. Final preseason game Friday, 7 o'clock against the Falcons. The Marlins swept the Nationals, winning 6-2 yesterday. The Red Sox are in town for 3. First pitch tonight, 6:40. And Leo Messi, he scored in the 82nd minute, but it was not enough as Inter Miami fell to Toronto FC 2-1. The Herons, they host Montreal CF Saturday at 7:30. This weather report is brought to you by Tornado Roofing and Contracting. Have a leaky roof? Take action now. Get your free estimate, 954-968-8155. Temperatures in the low 90s with scattered showers throughout the day. I am Dan Day, and it's time now for the Joe Rose Show here on 104.3 FM WQAM.
Well, a happy Friday morning to everybody, and if you're up right now at 6:02, we appreciate it, and we got Dave Hyde in. We got a little surprise for you. Last second, called, had to use the bullpen, had to come in strong.
They tapped the left shoulder.
Tapped the left, Dave
I'm
Hyde.
lefty. They called me in, yeah.
I didn't know if you were a lefty. That's all right. I did not know you were lefty.
I'm left-handed.
All right. 90, you came in about 92 miles an hour.
Well,
nice breaking pitch.
About 64, if that.
Okay. All right. All day Dan Day with us, and Jamie and his red-hot Marlins get the brooms out. And, boy, they're I know it has to do some with competition. They have absolutely owned the Nationals. We'll start with that before we got plenty of time for Dolphins and other stuff going on here. A lot of NFL news as well. To get to, but Marlins at home have just been unbelievable. I mean, one of the best records in baseball, 41-25 at home. It's like a game behind the Braves at home, how well they've played, just to give you an idea what the road's been like for them. Open up 3 with the Red Sox. They wish they could play the Nationals about 40 times because they're 8-1 on the season. And, oh, by the way, 4 more games coming up here. On the road. Boy, if they could take 3 or 4 there, and they just got to keep winning series now to have a chance, because all those top positions, everybody's at least 10 games over 500. So it's not like anybody else ahead of them's cooled off. It's
and one of the fun things about baseball, I'm watching yesterday, and they bring in this guy out of the bullpen in 7th inning, I believe, Jack Ralston. And I'm thinking, Jack Ralston, who's he? They just had called him up. And he pitches 2 scoreless innings, and you get these random guys in helping out in baseball, unlike most sports. And
it is one of the cool things about baseball. And I had an uncle and a cousin go through minor league to get up to the big leagues, and just how cool it is. But late in the year, if you're a San Francisco Giant fan, and none of you are listening. But they're one of the worst teams in baseball, so they're bringing up everybody. I mean, I have to hear my dad give me updates on it, but yeah, they're bringing up everybody's brother. But you're right, you got somebody good in the minor leagues right now, and you're watching highlights, and they're going, "Hi, this guy throws at 100 miles an hour. They just called him up. He just dominated minor league," and they're hoping this guy can get him over the hump during a playoff run. So yeah, it's a great chance to really. Young guy, been in the minors all year, but dominating at double or triple A. And now you get a chance to maybe be the difference in the last quarter of the season.
Kyle Stowers comes back now, and now you're not chasing Philadelphia so much as Arizona and San Diego. They're, 4 games? 2 games behind Arizona, 4 games behind the Padres. So
yeah, Philly just got smoking hot.
Well, they came back from 6 runs down in the 9th inning.
Yeah, it was down. I looked. They were like down 4 or 5-0.
2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. And
did they really?
And they scored 6 straight runs. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh my God.
You're not going to catch magic like that.
No, that's different stuff. So, Boy, I guess we might as well jump into this thing here early in the morning. It was hard to watch. It was very, and I know I'm talking about the preseason game. And I got there, and I wasn't exactly sure who was going to play. Matter of fact, to be honest, I literally was scratching off names as the game was going on and guys were warming up when I saw who was playing. And, that's one of the reasons you get there early to see when everybody comes out and who's going to play and who's not playing. Even during the game, I was crossing off more guys, and they had added a few guys. Like, there's some unbelievable stories. You probably heard Coach Halfley saying, I've never had this happen before. He had a couple guys that haven't been with the team very long. Hell, the guy that had the most tackles in the game been here a week, and Cam Riley had 10 tackles. But yeah, it was just Steven Dix Jr. takes 34 snaps. He'd been there one day. One day came in and go, hey, you're going to not only play a lot, you're going to get 34 snaps, and you're going to be calling the signals we're going to tell you what to do. So the guy was there one day.
They had the two guys who finally they had a sack in the second half, third quarter. I had to look. They just signed him.
They just signed him.
Last week.
The one guy that got pressure in the game. Whew, man. So coming out of the game, I just going by, and I'm not big on Pro Football Focus. I get it, and everybody uses it. Everybody, and there's nothing wrong with it. Some of it is accurate, some of it's not. But our writers like to make, when we rank people in games, who's good and who's not, we go back to Pro Football Focus, and I get it. It's out there,
It's a guideline. It's a guideline, right?
Chris Collingsworth, God bless you, man, because that's his baby. He owns it, and he's going to sell that thing if he hasn't already, and going to make $1 zillion on it because everybody uses it. On both sides. Both the NFL uses a lot of it, and so does media around the country. And a lot of fans like having it to see, if you're a hardcore fan and want to know who's grading out well. And but my eyeballs watching that game, the things that stood out, we have no pass rush, which the coach made reference to, like we're looking to see if we can get some guys that we can count on for a pass rush. Didn't see it. Did not see it. In basic defense and basic run offense, you just didn't see it. I saw a lot of missed assignments, mental mistakes, like you're supposed to have containment outside and you let guys bounce outside for a touchdown, and those type of things. You just can't. You're always trying to bring the play back inside. And again, this is common sense that you got help to the inside with everybody that's pursuing that way. So there was, and we had a 30-yard play from one of our receivers. Kevin Coleman had a.
There was the one good play of the day. I think that might have been it. That was
about a third of the yards. So
it was a great one-handed catch, and from a guy who's he had 2 touchdowns when he came in practice. So at least he's stacking good plays on top of each other.
But listen, it brought out one thing for me. And, again, we'd been warned about this. You should know about this. Besides, the starters didn't play. Most of them did not play. Now, some of the guys that there were some guys that are going to be playing. Hell, we had some guys in there in the fourth quarter that might be starters. Trader was out there playing a lot at safety. He's been out for a while, and they look like they wanted to get him a lot of work. But it's thin. It's just thin. It's what everybody's told you. Every writer's told you. Every podcaster from writers has told you. Anybody that goes out there tells you it's just a thin team. Now they got to decide between the young guys that have major upside that you think when you have those coaches meetings that this guy, I see him getting better, we got to keep him. And then you have to come in and go, he's not getting any better. We got to upgrade this from somewhere else in the NFL. And there could be, that's a fine line, by the way. And by the way, draft picks, tie goes to the runner. Draft picks get the benefit of the doubt, and most of them will stay around.
I remember Bill Parcells said the hardest thing as a coach was deciding between a veteran who's better right now, not that the Dolphins have many veterans better right now, but if you think about going out on the waiver wire, or a young kid, a rookie or second-year player, if you play him now in 6 weeks, where will he be?
Right.
Over the and that's sort of where the Dolphins are. If they keep playing these rookies, are they going to get better? I mean, they didn't get better last year, really, over the course of the. They got better. They got better. They didn't get to a level where you're like, okay, there's definitely something here.
I thought defensive linemen last year got a lot better from first half to second half. They played. Their numbers went down. A lot of it was because of the guys inside, which anyway, so it's and then I don't know what they do this week for Atlanta, because number one goal is to have everybody's got a chance to get healthy. He's got to get healthy, including those veteran guys that we know are really good players. Your best defensive lineman, your best linebacker. We need all those key guys to be back for and ready to go here in a couple weeks. Now we got the bye week, so it's another 7 days off, and it's going to be the Wild West next week at this time.
I see all
Wild West.
All the writers predicting the 53-man roster. Like, are you serious? So many of these guys are going to be replaced this year. Right. I just think that
I did see they were working everybody, and they all. And by the way, I get why they do it again, because people, it's a click. It's a click. Like, we've got the roster for you, and who's in and who's on the outside and who's on the inside. And I'm with you, because I literally went back and did a little one of my own last night. Like, how many guys we have at every position? I was in the 30s that I trust. I didn't even get to 40s on guys I trust. Just my eyeballs. I could be way off. I could be off by 5 or 6 guys. But I couldn't get to 40 guys, even with the kickers. And by the way, the punter.
Ooh.
I mean, listen, man, we've had a couple of these bad shanks. And field position is really important. I said it during the broadcast. Look, I know takeaways and turnovers and all those are number one. But I got to tell you, field position, and you start your drives always backed up inside the 10, and they're getting the ball at midfield every time, there's a good chance you're going to get your ass kicked.
Well, the special teams were awful, as bad as the rest of it. And there were like 2 holding penalties, a muffed punt, that 15-yard punt.
Honestly, some guys on coverage took some bad angles, including one of our draft picks. Just did not have great and had opportunities. And the worst part is he's flying down on the outside, and he took a move not once but twice and let the guy get outside him, and he ran, down the sideline. Hell, I thought one of them he's going to score. So, yeah, David, to your point, yeah, special teams got to get a lot better. And this goes back to, sometimes even if the guy isn't the best backup, you might want to look. Cam Good is a guy I want to keep, even though he may not making a splash as a pass rusher, which, by the way, not too many guys are making a splash as a pass rusher. Again, it will be interesting. But, Dave, I'm with you. I just think there's a lot of guys out there going to be on this team, and they don't know it right now wherever they are, and we don't know it where they're coming from, but we know they're coming. We know there's going to be some new guys that are
they'll have to be cheap too, because the stat of the season, I know we've said it before, but especially after watching Saturday, I have to remind myself, 179,666,755. That's the dead cap money. You might as well memorize that like pi, 3.1462, whatever it is. That they're not going to have much depth. They're not going to have. But the disappointing thing to me from training camp is some of these veteran one-year deals they took flyers on
have not been very good.
No.
I saw Omar, who's going to join us later. That was one of the things he had. And listen, John Eric Sullivan had to get a lot of veterans on the cheap. And when you get a lot of guys at $1.3 million or whatever the standard is for that, you're like, okay, now some of them did here, but you're right. Starting with Sawyer and working down, he's out for the year. It's supposed to be one of our key backups on the offensive line. And honestly, at the receiver position, we have not gotten anything out of the veteran free agents. Nothing.
Starting with the receivers, I thought Jalen Tolbert or Tutu Atwell, I thought one of them
would have better camp.
Because they were playing behind great receivers where they were, so you think, well, maybe if he gets a chance.
I thought that's a good point.
That was my thinking.
100%. You look at who they play behind, you go, okay, I can see where they lost some targets and they lost catches and lost some stats because those two teams had top 5 to top 10 starting wide receivers last year, right? With Dallas and L.A.
And the Rams.
So anyway, all fair. And by the way, we got to say this. Tommy Hutton, congratulations, man. They had a nice retirement ceremony. Tommy's been around a long time, been really good, and I love his style. And when he gets all fired up and he'll call his guys out, and I thought there for a while they might have him out, and the organization was smart enough to get his ass back here and let Tommy Hutton be Tommy Hutton.
Everybody loves Tommy. You know, it's part of being a fan is being like you've been doing the Dolphins forever, the games. That's part of an evening with the Dolphins or a game. It's same with Tommy Hutton. When you hear him, I always felt more when him and Rich Waltz were doing the games. I thought that was the best pairing for baseball. It felt like you were sitting down with them every night.
Yeah, no, it was great. You're right. I like both, and yes, that's agree with you totally. That was one of my favorite combinations for the Marlins, who through the years have done it a lot of different ways and all the other things. We've got to get a quick break here, but hey, Jamie, everybody's asking me how was the weekend with the ladies, man? Huh? Just give me a quick update. Don't hurt me, bro.
It was good. It was good. We got some new prospects here. It's good.
So I got to ask you, man, I'm not real good on this thing, but I do live through other people. Are you getting, when you swipe, are they swiping back? Like,
yeah, no, I do okay on there.
Prospects.
I got some matches.
Because I guess the most demoralizing thing would be you see somebody out there and you swipe them, you know, and you don't get it back.
It hurts. It hurts, Joe.
I don't think Jamie demoralizing isn't part of his
you can't
game
let
plan.
it affect you. You got to just keep moving.
That's what you say.
No. It's kind of what we talk about in professional sports. You got a bad day. You can't let it turn into 2 or 3 bad days.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
bad Dan day. That's what he's saying.
But I got
to shake it off
But
there,
look,
Dan.
look, Thursday we got singles night right across the street at Maji. I'll give you an update, let you know how it goes.
Are you going over there?
Oh, yeah. Whether I'm solo or not, I'm going.
But all day, I got a feeling you're the same way. You do a nice job of like, hey, I'm not really in. You get, but you're more in person. I just feel like you like to see him in person.
Yeah.
So I like that too, because you can get a vibe from a woman right when I did do it. I could get a vibe right away. If I smiled and they saw the big gap and I saw it affected them, or the eyebrow was too much, then I was like, okay. I mean, she's not a gap girl.
That's the same. You meet. I would have guessed Jamie or Dan that you meet someone within 5 minutes, you know whether it's going to work or not.
Yeah,
right?
no, it's funny you say that. Actually, like a week or two ago, I went on a date, and about 10 minutes into the date, I was like, oh, man, I got to get out of here. This girl's nuts. And so, yeah, sometimes you get on the date with these girls, and they're just not what you expected. And
did you say I got to go to the restroom and not
no,
come
I
back?
stuck it out. I was a gentleman. I paid for the date at the end there, and then
That's a great call by Dave, though. I'd have the buddy call me and say, oh, my God, something's come up at home.
no, I didn't have that. I didn't have that one holstered. I might should add that to the repertoire here. Usually,
Don't do it. My buddy did have me come sit in on a damn day. That was embarrassing. One of the most embarrassing things I've ever done. And I didn't sell it very well. I'm guessing I didn't sell well. I just happened to.
What did you say? You walked in, you're like, oh, I'm here for a cold beer. And then.
Yeah, I happened to be here, and he's one of my best friends. And, wow, I can't believe you guys are here. And we all got here at the same time. Isn't that
How
amazing?
shocking. That wouldn't have raised any eyebrows from the date.
I could see her telling her friends on the way home, what 2 dumbasses those 2 are, man. I figure we didn't figure that out after I know they know each other. Man, what's the chance? They're looking up. Where's Joe Rose live? He doesn't live over here. What the hell was that about? Yeah, bad stuff. All right, we got to go to break, but never too early in the morning for my Atlantic Men's brothers, Atlantic Men's Clinics brothers out there. If you're going through low T and ED, it's a good time for you guys getting up early in the morning because you don't sleep well at night. Not only that, you just have no energy. It's a combination. What's going on? You're gaining weight. The whole deal just sucks. When you're not active and you eat the same amount of food, you can figure out. I just call it the 20's coming. 20 pounds is coming. Nothing you can do about it. And then people, well, you're getting older. It's all normal. They try to sell you on that. I'm like, yeah, I get it. And the sex drive being gone, I don't know. I'm going to have more energy. I want to be active on the weekends. I want to do things. I want to play tennis. I want to walk. I want to be able to have a vacation I can be active in. And like, oh, it's too much walking for this vacation. And your sex drive, come on, man. You still want to keep that. I don't care who you are. You still want to be able to get after it a little bit on the weekends. And Atlantic Men's Clinic, thank you so much. 2 years ago, I was part of the full-blown ED low T family. Nothing to be proud of. But I got to tell you, I did go to Atlantic Men's Clinic, and I found out it's normal, so it wasn't just me. I didn't know anything about it, was not well educated on it. But when you go to Atlantic Men's Clinic and you set up that first appointment, you get the PSA test, you meet with that professional staff, and you are off and running, man. They look at your numbers. They put you on a program that's perfect for you to get great results right away. How would you like to get your energy level back? How would you like to get your sex drive back? And it's real easy. You go to Atlantic Men's Clinic. They do it the right way, the professional way. 7 locations in South Florida to serve you. Wait until you see their offices to start with. And the people they have working there, fantastic, man. There's a brand new location in Hollywood. I go to Plantation. Call them today and set up that first appointment. It's the most important one. Force yourself to go. Don't back out. Don't get cold feet. You're going to get it all back there, brothers. 877-455-7300 or visit AtlanticMen'sClinic.com. I'm just telling you from the bottom of my heart, Atlantic Men's Clinic works. in the 7 o'clock hour. You know, Omar, he's going to come in with some strong stuff, so we'll jump on little Omar.
I feel for these writers. They've been through this. Most of them have been through
Not like
2019.
this.
And
This different level.
it's
This
a
different
tough
level.
one.
This different level. And by the way, I not here. I am not blaming Coach Hafley for anything and John Eric Sullivan for anything, even when you have cheap free agents not work out or get injured, obviously. You're hoping to get something out of it. It's right now, I don't know if you're going to get anything. And now, again, we don't start playing games, and there are a couple guys that have a chance of the veteran free agent class. You know what's been really weird is Greg Dulcich, who's just been a pass-catching machine in the offseason. I know he spent a lot of time and really hasn't done much. Now he's got a bad hand without getting into all the details on the hand and getting in trouble. But I hope that was the guy they're really counting on as their pass receiving tight end.
He had a nice catch down the middle. I remember preseason.
But I just thought we were going to they're going to show up.
Oh, going to feature him more. Yeah,
a little more.
Yeah.
But again,
you know who they're featuring is.
Well, I saw last game who it was right off the bat. He had like 3 of the first or 4 of the first 5 or 3 of the first 4 was
Coleman. Yeah,
Coleman.
He had 5 targets at half, and nobody else had more than 2.
So I have learned this from the days of Don Strock coming in, and it's so funny. I get in, and a lot of other guys don't understand this because I was not a starter. And I played late for 6 or 7 years. I played late into games in the old days with the backups when they rested starters. And a lot of times, like Don Strock was in, and Stroker would look at me in the huddle, and we'd have a bunch of rookies, and I knew he was going to throw a lot to me.
Because he trusted you.
He just
right.
He goes, hey, man, run that tight end option. He goes, dude, if we get enough time, they're going to go too deep, I'm going to throw it down the middle. Or he would say stuff like that. But he would even tell me, he goes, hey, because Shoes would tell me ahead of time, hey, I got a Stroker, you're going to play second quarter or second and third quarter. And he would, he'd look around to see. And I think that's what Miller did. Miller looked and said, my best chance to have success with this group is a guy I feel comfortable throwing to. So that does happen.
And he made a play. I mean, that 30-yard
that was nice.
touchdown. He's one arm is being held by the defensive back. He caught it one-handed.
And he's got a safety dialing in on him coming from center field over to try to make a play on him. But anyway, so it was funny because I thought a couple guys, I thought Cam Riley, and this is just the difference, I thought Cam Riley had a really good game for a guy that's been here for a week. Been here a week. And so Cam Riley has 10 tackles. And just as I'm bragging about him, he comes around far side, he shoots the gap, makes this unbelievable play, flying in, and I'm bragging about him, and the tight end standing next to him on the next play, and he whiffed. The guy catches it. He whiffs on the tackle, and the guy runs for another 7 or 8 yards down the field. But I thought Cam Riley had a really I noticed him. Guys that you make 10 tackles, people are going to go, hey, you're making. I thought Jackson Woodard was good again, too, number 42. Makes a lot of plays. I thought he was good. I'll tell you a guy that played the whole game, and I guess he graded out well. I just couldn't tell, but we've been kind of waiting for it, is DJ Campbell, 6th-round pick out of Texas. And by the way, the bad news out of Texas is Trey Moore.
Yeah, we're just starting to look for him to make plays, and he made a couple in the scrimmage on Thursday, and
Coach said no time soon.
Well, he wasn't putting any weight. I thought you're worried coming off the field, is it a knee? Now you learn it's an ankle, and but it sounded like a long time.
I just see it as a big old grapefruit today. I can see him sitting in there, and things swells up, and the whole thing you go through. But hey, we got a bunch of other news too coming out here from just this weird story, Dave. We talked about it when the first day you worked here last week. We were talking about college football and the 16 guys that have found a way that if you get cut in the NFL, go right back and play college football. And there's going to be teams that will want you. Well, sure enough, tight end Daquan Wright. He got released by the Eagles. He signed with the Cleveland Browns, and I guess he was injured, or he told the team he was injured, so he didn't practice, and they let him suit up in case they got in a situation where he had to play. Well, meanwhile, I guess they're going to cut him, and Lane Kiffin called and said, hey, man, if you're going to cut him, you mind cutting him a little early because he's eligible. Ole Miss tight end. Lane Kiffin had him at Ole Miss the last 2 years. He's on his way to LSU. Something we never thought we would see is about ready to happen.
LSU picked him up off waivers?
Off waivers.
Does the college need a line, sort of like the NFL, it's based on your record the previous year, who can pick up? Are we going to get that with college football?
Well, the best part is a lot of people don't like Lane Kiffin. It's no secret. Okay. Yeah, and he's an easy guy to dislike. He is. I think he's a really good coach.
A great coach.
But
FAU.
really hard guy to like for me personally, just because of dealings
That's
with him.
part of why I like him, because he's hard. Because I like that he's in college football because it's fun to root against him or for him. He's one of those.
Well, he busted Saban's chops. So if you like that, he was always social media drilling him, and he didn't care. But I just saw like Cleveland Browns coach goes, yeah, Lane Kiffin reached out to me a week ago. I thought it was weird. Why is he calling me? But he goes, I didn't call him back anyway. Maybe I should have.
Talk
How
about
that. How about a coach not having respect enough to go, Lane Kiffin, screw him. He's a piece of.
What about
Because some of the old school guys don't like him.
Todd Monken, the Browns coach, is coming up with every week he's a quote machine. All of a sudden because of the quarterback situation, the things he said about Deshaun Watson this out of this past game, and the things Deshaun Watson said, where Monken said that. The topic was being booed, and nobody likes to get booed. He goes, but maybe we get better quarterback play.
Yeah, he did.
And
well, Deshaun Watson really broke it down. And they're all going to be. I'm sorry, but when you have 27 to 30 women and allegations of sexual assault and a civil lawsuit, and a lot of women apparently got paid off in this thing to go away. They did. They got paid off to go away, whatever it was. And he's saying he's innocent, and that's his story, and he's sticking to it. But there are a lot of people, they're never going to forgive that one when it's sexual assault. Whatever he did when he's getting massages and not going to the places but meeting them in hotels.
But Watson can't come out after a game and complain about fans booing. I mean, that's – The fans have right to boo. Now we can sit here and discuss were they right in booing or wrong in booing, but you could pay to go to a game. That's part of it. And he comes out and he says, "I think the whole world knows it has nothing to do with our performance. It has
He's right.
a little
lot
more
of it is
personal
true.
than that." Right. The question is, for me right now, which is worse? Which is the worst version of Deshaun Watson? Him as an NFL player, where he's just been terrible up in Cleveland, or him as the off the field, all the off the field stories with him. Both sides are boo worthy.
Yeah, what's funny, Dave? Because I was thinking about this yesterday too. So he's got a $230 million guarantee It's the largest fully guaranteed contract in the history of the NFL, which the other owners were pissed off at the Browns about because they don't like to guarantee a contract, a complete contract.
They were so
like
pissed
that.
off they colluded to say we will never do this again.
So anyway, he's had a suspension because he had to have a suspension, had a shoulder surgery followed by an Achilles injury. So he's only played a handful of games, and he hasn't been very good. So I agree. If he'd have come back and been real good, all of a sudden a lot of that would have gone away. I agree with you on that. And people go, hey, you can overlook stuff when the guy looks like he did when he was playing for the Houston Texans. But he hasn't been very good. He's sitting in the back. I thought he was done.
I don't know why they brought him back.
Had six quarterbacks last year, and they had him sitting in the back of the room and just stay behind. And they got more drama now than they had last year with six quarterbacks, including what the hell did they do? They drafted a guy in the third round who can't throw it, couldn't break a window with the football from Oregon. And then they got a guy in the fifth round who, I don't know, he looks a lot better watching him throw now, Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah, I don't know if he's a starting NFL quarterback, but he looks better than Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Now, what I'm going to say, there's no parallel between Deshaun Watson and the Dolphins situation here as far as Deshaun Watson's off the field stuff. But on the field, they had to know he can't play. And still they brought him back because they owe him so much money. And that was the exact situation the Dolphins had. They had a quarterback, everybody knew he was done. And he's proven in Atlanta he's done. And we would have had all this drama here if he was here playing badly, and it'd be the topic A, B, and C around this team. So that was a smart. For all the people who were arguing last March, why did they get rid of Tua? They're going to pay him. Just bring him. Look at Cleveland. That's why you don't want that drama in a camp.
Right. There's no reason to bring Tua.
Meanwhile, Tua's coming here.
Yeah, and by the way, Tua will be here this week. We don't know if he's going to play or not. They sat him out. I think they did him a favor by not playing him in the last game. He did.
I think that they played him Thursday in the scrimmage against Indianapolis, and evidently he was awful looking.
Right.
And
they're going. There's no reason to put him in a.
So they're going to have to put him in this game, though, aren't they?
Penix apparently got the green light to go 11 on 11. So I guess he's just about ready to go again. But yeah, that thing's interesting too. So anyway, we got all kinds of stuff to get to here. The Deshaun Watson thing is very interesting. By the way, he was very open about and is very aware of what it is and has to do with, because they were going because they didn't let up on the question. You wish you weren't here right now? Well, that'd be great if he said, yeah, I wish the hell I wasn't here. I'd be like to be anywhere but here and get booed. All right. So besides all that, we got a lot more on the Miami Dolphins coming up. Klay Thompson, one of the great three-point shooters, gets a buyout done. Looks like I don't know if he's official yet with the Heat, but looks like he's about ready to sign a little two-year contract.
Riley talked about it yesterday. That's about all you need to know about where it stands, and he's he's sort of the perfect guy Riley really loves. The Heat love, veteran. Still can play a specific role, three-point shooting.
He used to be a really good defender. Used to be really good before the injuries and everything else. All right, we got to go to break, Dave Hyde. As we continue on, we'll get back. We've got a lot more stuff to get to here this morning. Marlins home record as they get set to take on the Red Sox for 3 games, 41-25 at home. What a great story that is. Hey, if you're looking for a truck that's built, we're from South Florida. Let's get right into it. We love our truck family. It was up to me. We had this big disagreement, the Chevy folks. And, hey, listen, they got final say, as you know. But I said, I think we should talk about the SUVs. I said, we should be talking about the Tahoes and the Suburbans and the Traverse. Man, we got some great SUVs, man. Everybody knows it. And they go, hey, calm down. We're going to talk about trucks, man. We love our trucks. We're loaded down with trucks right now. The Chevy Colorado, right over to the Chevy Silverados, from the custom Trail Boss to the Silverado EV with 10 models and 4 powerful engine choices. Silverado delivers, and we're going to talk about the strength, dependability, and efficiency of these great trucks. I go, okay, I got your point. They go, no, So the president stands up. He goes, no, Joe, you need to understand. The Chevy Silverado HD, are you kidding me? Or a powerful LTZ with a premium style and substance to match, or even our big Chevy Silverado HD High Country. It's like we've custom-made a truck for everybody out there, whether you make a living in that truck 7 days a week, or you need a family truck, you need that extra space to get the kids around, because all you are is a truck man or woman. Or maybe for you it's about having the toys on the weekend as well. You get a lot out of a Chevy Silverado truck. When it comes to the best of a Chevy Silverado truck, boy, you can't beat them. Visit your local South Florida Chevy dealers. Take a test drive. Get a great deal today at your South Florida Chevy dealers.
The Joe
And welcome back, and good morning to everybody just joining us here on a Monday morning, getting back in the flow of life after the weekend. Hope you had a great weekend. And Woody sent me a text yesterday, said, hey, man, we need an extra day. Fantasy football was just a knockdown, drag out with the 10 of us wearing those matching shirts up in Canada. So he said he's going to need an extra day to rest coming up.
I hope they packed a couple extra shirts, to match. So
No, he told me, because the one guy has the machine to make the shirts, which is kind of weird in itself.
Well, he might have a machine. Maybe as a
What
company.
are those things called? You guys know off the top? What you call
Letterpress or
whatever.
I
You
don't know
can
what
make
they
shirts at home.
Oh, you make them at home?
Yeah,
Oh.
guy can just, he had all the stuff. He said they made them in different colors. I know, Dave. I know. I thought that pause said it all right there.
I'm reserving judgment on people,
I know,
Joe, as I get
know.
older,
So we call it the sausage family, all up there, all 10 of them up there together, and 8 of them.
It was the weekend for this. My son went up to Georgia for I didn't know this.
Oh no,
till
I
this
think
and
this is
another
it.
friend went. I don't know where they went, but they the same thing. This must
You gotta
have been
go if you're gonna do one of those guys' trips, which is fine. Listen, I'm not obviously. I like being with the guys. I do. I still enjoy being with my guys on a weekend away from. And we got it built in. I mean, and the tabs picked up even better on a Saturday night. I mean, it's a absolute perfect situation. Get a little buzz and maybe, a little banged up on a Sunday morning for a football game. But you got to go to a good place. I mean, if you're in Toronto, I'm guessing it would be great. Sounds like Montreal would be great.
Montreal's a great city.
But why aren't you going to Vegas? Vegas got to be home. Las Vegas has got to be the number one home. If you're traveling and you got the green light from the wife or the live-in girlfriend that you're allowed to go, and I understand you and your friends need to get away, and you got to go to Vegas. Isn't that number one?
That would probably be number one, I think, for a weekend. But after you've done Vegas a couple times, you got to move around the world a little, don't you? They did Vegas. Woody did Vegas last year.
Yeah, last year or the year before he did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, he's done that. They've stayed local a couple years. They've just, gone. I don't know if they went down to the Keys or Keys wouldn't be a bad.
You can't
place.
go wrong.
No.
I don't know. But my son, they looked for a.
Where'd they go again?
They looked for a place near a major airport where they could rent an Airbnb house for 10 people. And it was like an hour and a half out of Georgia, hour and a half north of Georgia. I'm like, you're kidding. Or of Atlanta, excuse me.
I don't get it.
I don't get that either. Why don't you just
I'm not taking a shot at your son.
No, go ahead.
I don't get it.
Please
You're
take
going,
one. Because
you're in
I
Atlanta
agree.
And you
I
decide to go what, to be out away from the whole world?
Yeah, that's what they did.
Hello.
I'm with you. Why not go to a major city and Vegas?
Is that the new agreement with
Chicago?
the wives? Like,
Well,
I don't. Make sure you're away from everybody. No clubs around. No, because I know you. I don't know. Anyway, he'll be back tomorrow. Woody should be back tomorrow. We'll hear about all the matching.
Hope he got a
shirts.
good quarterback in his draft, right? I mean,
Boy, you try to figure that one out, huh? Man,
I thought he got caught up in the Canadian Tariff War. That was their fantasy league. Not allowed to come back.
Whatever you're putting in on it, we want our money now. This is what we're doing back to you guys. We have the same amount of money given back to us here for fantasy football, for coming to Toronto or Montreal for a good time, enjoying everything up here. We first of all, I want to say this morning, I was going to get to this. Congratulations. We had a really good week of high school football, and it is really cool to see a lot of the good teams all playing each other. So start with Columbus with a nice 45-7 win. West Boca goes 24-7 after a really tough loss to Carroll City. They come back and beat American Heritage Plantation. Central over Orange Lutheran out of California. Nice win for them. Chaminade looks dominant again against Monarch, scoring 49. Carroll City, 38-3 over Daytona Mainland. Palmetto, 35-0 over Killen. Go on and on, but a lot of good ones. MacArthur is a little disappointing against Jacksonville as they lose 38-21. So, anyway, go through all these scores, but congratulations. All these teams getting off to a good start, and we got some really good football teams, and it seems to really be spread out this year as the season goes on. And we'll see how it plays out and how many teams get knocked off and how many teams are able to dominate throughout. And can anybody go undefeated? I know a lot of people think St. Thomas Aquinas is going to go undefeated and probably be the number one seed in the state of Florida for this new league of the top 8 teams. And Blue thinks if they win that, they'll be national champions. Hate to just give it to somebody, though, because you turn it over 4 or 5 times, you get sloppy, you can lose games.
Well, they have won 6 state titles in a row, I believe. So
yeah, and they've had a couple national championships. Although they're trying to figure this, that's why they're going to this more, trying to put themselves in a situation where we can have more, not just state champions, but national champions, which has not happened here for a while. Anyway, with that being said, we do have a lot of stuff going on here this morning to get to. Did you see Harrison Butker, by the way, kick the 69-yard field goal?
I did see that, and
I you know, it's funny because I've never been out there to call anything close to that. Did you see where the ball actually was? They were on their 41-yard line. Can you imagine? You damn near get the ball at the 40 anyway. Off a kickoff, you can get it to the 30 to 35. You got a few downs. You get maybe one first down.
Say
and
you get 6 yards on a 4th and 4.
Bring Butker around. Let him kick it. Yeah, 69.
They're gonna if that becomes part of football.
Not good for football.
No, it's not.
No.
They're going to have to. Now, one guy doing it, it's kind of interesting. But if you get half dozen, 10, and it starts developing, then you got to diminish the field goal.
You know what's funny? So you get to games early and love to see the distance, and our guys always take it back. Whatever it is, a lot of our guys like to get it to 54, 55, make one, and let it go. So you got to go by how much they make it by. And I got to tell you, man, we have had even Riley Patterson, before him, Jason Sanders. I've always said, man, I'd love to see him get a shot at a 60 because they can all make it from 60. All of them. All damn near every guy's warming up. Nobody has an accurate short leg is what I'm saying. They've got distance, man. They can rip it. But, again, it was just a reminder. I don't know how good it is for the game, though, these long field goals. Again, a little bit like golf saying everybody's getting home and on a par 5 and 2, and they don't. And by the way, in some cases, an iron with the second shot, a 4 or 5 iron, because these guys.
What if they took out the field goal? I wouldn't mind that. It'd be an interesting game.
Have that.
I know. I'm just.
I don't like
one
that
of my
idea.
fantasies.
I don't know if I like that idea. I like a lot of your ideas, though, Dave. But I'm not big on getting rid of the field goal kicker. But, boy, I'll tell you what, we cannot have shank punts. I know you're not going to hit them all. They're not all going to be 50-yard punts. But you can't have 30-yard friggin' punts or 20-yard punts. You just can't.
This was 15. So.
It was 15.
Hopefully got it out of his system.
Yeah, he had one game before, too. But, yeah, we got – no, that's not worried. Nobody's worrying about special teams right now, but it's got to be a lot better overall than what we just saw, especially the penalties. You don't get a good return and you get a penalty, and you got an offense struggling. You knew they're going to be struggling, and they're starting all those drives backed up like that. Should have had a safety. Somehow quarterback gets out of the end zone. I think it was that Miller who spun around to barely get out of the end zone at the 1-yard line, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, besides that, the other thing I want to get to is the BMW PGA Championship, the second leg. Did you see any of it? Did you watch any of the end of that?
No, but I read about some of it,
Yeah. I'm a junkie, man. As soon as I saw Rory and Wyndham Clark were tied at 14 under, that zoomed me in. Soon as it flashed on, I went, okay, now I'm in, because he had tracked him down, and Wyndham Clark had a great finish, birdied 3 holes and ends up winning it. But they're the format now. That was the second leg. They've got this is the last one coming up. And they used to do it by how well you played. You got shots. Now they're just everybody's even, which I didn't realize. You know what I mean? You got bonus. Like,
Do you like it better this way? I mean, it sort of takes a while for me to adapt to, okay, this is a new way. And
yeah, no. Well, so those guys must have complained about the other way. Right? They have that advisory board of players. I don't know. I'm fine. And so, Scotty Scheffler looked great 2 weeks ago. He won by like 7 or 8 shots. And yesterday he said he was sick and his back was hurt and his mouth was, and he had all these injuries and stuff. So he didn't play great. And now if you're going to get that, not only win the tournament, but you get $10 million if you win this whole thing. $10 million extra dollars. Pretty amazing.
Now, this is all live induced. Remember, the one good thing about live is that they did make the PGA reconsider some of their the way they went about business, and so they made it better for the players, more from the players' standpoint, more money.
Well, the live thing is
that was like the last tournament, maybe, wasn't it? Is that
I don't know. I hear guys already. Some guys are coming out saying, "I don't know what I'm going to do." Other guys are saying, "I'm in. I'm with live until they die," and they tell us there's not a dime left. Well, some of those guys nobody wants back. Let's be honest. And there's been some guys that used to be really good on the PGA Tour. They got to be fat cats, and they let their game slip. I don't know how else to say it. Some guys got big fat signing bonuses and checked out, basically, because they have not dominated or come close to it. On how many years has Liv been around now? 4 or 5 years? Yeah. 3, 4, whatever.
Sounds right.
Some guys. And then there's Phil, who's sending out package pictures. What the hell he's doing, whatever he's doing. Trying to get it together. I'm guessing trying to hold that marriage together.
I don't know.
I mean, he disappeared.
Phil took a left turn somewhere.
But he disappeared.
He did, didn't he? He's not playing.
He's getting kicked out of clubs for,
It's hard for a Masters winner and someone who's made as much money as big names Phil to get kicked out of golf clubs.
Think about that.
That's hard to do.
He belongs to some of the nicest private golf courses in Southern California. And I'm guessing a lot of other places. He's Phil Mickelson. And Phil Mickelson's playing as one of the great golfers of all time. He is. And you're getting kicked out, and they're coming out on the golf course treating you like it's you and I out there in a tank top drinking, chugging beers, and everybody says, and they ask us to leave and never come back. That's how they treated
There's
him.
a great sitcom, Phil and Tiger rooming together.
Oh my God!
In their 60s. What do you think? That'd be a great series, a great reality show.
Well, we know Phil had the gambling addiction. The book came out, and it's just amazing if all that money and time people spent watching those two compete against each other. It's one of the classic sporting events. Screw just golf. The Doral had Phil Mickelson and Tiger on a Saturday and Sunday.
I followed every hole.
I did too. I was walking
around.
out
there walking. It was
NBC
beautiful. It was
goes,
great
"Hey
to
man,
watch.
we get updates, give us stuff." It was on NBC. They had us all working out there. It was great. Who's going to win this thing? Going back and forth. You were a Phil fan. You were a Tiger fan. Nobody had any idea.
If we'd only known, it would have added to the drama of their competing, right? What they did off the golf course.
Phil had demons just like Tiger.
Yeah.
Apparently, a lot of people have. I just been open about mine. A lot of people just don't.
You're healthy. Yeah. Well, they don't have talk shows. They're trying to play golf.
Actually, I've been very lucky. My wife's. Oh, it's 7:00 here. Been very lucky. My wife's taken the demon stories pretty well through the years. She's taken them. As long as she doesn't have to deal with them.
There's a Mendoza line of demarcation there.
As long as she doesn't have to deal with them, she's all right. Hey, we got to go to break. 7:00 hours coming up.
Baseball coverage on WQ.
Fort Lauderdale, WQAM Miami, an Odyssey sports station. The home of Joe Rose with Hollywood, Tobin and Leroy, and Hot Crowder and Solana. South Florida sports lives here.
Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
In Miami, we go to the beach for a little solcito, and when you want a low price, you save with your Pricito. Save now with your Pricito at Doral Hyundai. The Dolphins fell to the Giants 26-3. Cam Miller started to win 6 for 11, 60 yards, 2 sacks. Final preseason game Friday, 7 o'clock against the Falcons. The Marlins swept the Nationals, winning 6-2 yesterday. The Red Sox are in town for 3 games. First pitch tonight at 6:40. This weather report is brought to you by Tornado Roofing and Contracting. Have a leaky roof? Take action now. Get a free estimate 954-968-8155. Temperature is going to be rising to the mid-90s with scattered showers throughout the day. I am Dan Day. Now back to the Joe Rose Show here on 104.3 FM WQAM.
Welcome back. Good morning to everybody out there. Great to have you with us. Thank you as always. With little whippersnappers all heading back to school. What is week 2 now all of a sudden, Dave? You've been out of that business for a while.
Yeah, well, but it is started last week.
You don't notice till that first time you happen to be going, because I'm over by Western High School, and Bonaventure has a Catholic school across the street. And if you catch that time, Dave, you go, oh, crap. You're not paying attention, then you get stuck going through, man, when they're getting out of school. Always try to stay away from
I got
that.
a ticket on a bicycle for not stopping about
What'd
a
that cost
quarter of
you?
a mile. I haven't gone through it yet, so I don't want to look. But
I've never heard of that, by the way.
they had bicycles lined up in Key Biscayne, and just
You know what's weird? I see a bunch of young kids. Again, I don't care. I don't care. See a bunch of young guys riding around in these little half bikes, half little mopeds.
the electric bikes.
Yeah. And zooming around and just flying around out there. A little more land out there. But all over the place. I'm surprised we don't see, going in and out of places. I'm just surprised. Young kids, too. I'm not talking high school kids. I'm talking little whippersnappers. But
I've seen them.
hey, man, good luck out there. Hope everybody sees you when you're driving around. I hope so. Hey, so we've been all over the board this morning. There's something I wanted to get to here that is going on with the Dolphins that I don't understand, and I'm trying to make sense of it with such a young team, and they're playing a lot of young guys. Zeke Biggers has not played in 2 games. And I saw some of our guys that I really trust before the second game going, hey, this is the first chance. We're going to get to see Zeke Biggers. He played so well, especially at the practice that they had at the stadium that kind of got everything going, and he was unbelievable. Played a little defensive end, played inside, but he has definitely turned into a different guy. And everybody's noticed and made one of those big jumps that we talked about and really had everybody lathered up. And so everybody goes, well, we didn't see Zeke Biggers in the first game. I'm sure we're going to see him in the first half of the second game against the Giants. So looking around and about halfway through, I go, you know what? I don't think Zeke Biggers is playing again. No, if you don't have your jersey on, I couldn't see, but Zeke Biggers has not played in the first 2 preseason games. He's practicing, but no Zeke Biggers out there. Now, I don't know if he's nicked up. Maybe he got nicked up before both games. I get if you're a veteran, proven player that you're not playing. You just get yourself ready to go. We know you're going to be ready. Even if you have a little rust for week 1, we know you're going to be good. I don't get being Zeke Biggers where you played a little bit late last year, played a lot more football in the second half of the season, came back, got himself in shape, got a fresh start with a new coaching staff, lost some weight. But and it seems like they just go, he didn't play. And they go, oh, okay. and nobody is there
Everybody played though. That was a game for backups.
And again, is he now a frontline guy? And are they saying so? So here's what it could be. He's shown us so much that we really don't need to see him in a game, which I have trouble believing.
He had 6 tackles last year and
Right.
1.5 sacks. So however good he looked in the offseason, you still want to see him on the field, right?
Did he get in the doghouse a little bit? Did something happen where he's practicing well, but he was late for something? I hate to bring up late.
But if you were punishing him when you make play the preseason game, play the second half of the preseason, you go out there and play in that 95-degree heat.
Well, if it is late, this guy's going to crack down hard after what just went through here with a history of a team that was late. And so I just don't – I was just shocked. Again, I like Coach Hafley. I just don't understand. I wish they would say because they'll tell you if somebody's injured. Yeah, he's a little nicked up right now. He just didn't play. And, he didn't play for what reason? I hope somebody will ask the coach today. I don't know. Did they meet? Did they have coach yesterday?
Yeah, they talked yesterday. And
I haven't seen Zeke Bigger stuff. And Ann and Eric. I'm just curious because we're really kind of counting on him. I got him as one of those 4 defensive linemen, Zach Sealer and the 3 guys from last year.
But like you said, there was talk of him playing outside too.
I kept wondering if he played, and I just missed it. But I read that he didn't play. So, kind of a big thing, stopping the run and the flexibility of what he offers, because they've talked about he's the one guy that can play inside and outside at 318 or 19 pounds at whatever weight he's carrying right now. I just thought kind of a weird one, man. I don't know if our guys asked and they just got a plane and moved on the answer. So anyway, I hope he's okay. This is not trying to get to something or stir something up. It's just those guys are pretty honest about everything. Guys complain, got to get better. He is getting better. He's playing. He's not playing. He's injured. He's going to be out. Could be more than a week. I mean, and these are answers we've already heard. They just don't get the Zeke Biggers thing. The mystery of Zeke Biggers not playing one preseason snap in a game.
The big mystery of Zeke Biggers. But especially where everybody's playing, and I mean, let's face it, there's not a lot of depth on this team. I mean, he would be a prominent one of the defensive linemen you're counting on to step up this year, right? There's like 3 or 4 of them from last year that you want to see, okay,
right.
What strides are they going to take?
Well, they said Kenneth Grant's hurt. So I go, okay, he's going to be out. And it sounds like Kenneth Grant's going to be back for the start of the year. And honestly, his ass needs some work too. He needs to be, the guy that seems to really be playing well is Phillips. And I'm not worried about Zach Sealer. But the other guys, I just, you're injured. I get it. Guys are nicked up. You're not going to play them. And if they're nicked up and it sounds like it's going to be close to regular season and you know what they can do, then you wait and you play them when the season starts. I totally understand that. But anyway, that was one thing that it kind of hit me. And the other one that we were talking about before was the guys that did play and didn't play in that game and how many guys stood out or didn't. And it was really hard just watching eyes. Now, I know Pro Football Focus has a different list of guys and gives you, and some of the guys they graded out, who graded out, and they give you top guys. And it's always a Barry Jackson thing. We'll give you grades on who graded out well and who didn't. But it was hard to find guys, to me, just watching, that graded out well in that game.
Certainly in the first half, where, let's face it, in a game where the subs are starting for 95% for both teams, the first half is the one you're counting on. There's the depth coming from, right?
Yeah.
Again, one player, Kenneth Coleman Jr., right? Or Kevin Coleman Jr.
He caught a 30-yard pass down, and they tried to give him the ball a few times, and it was tight coverage, and so they didn't get a whole lot done there. I think we realize, and So they're in a situation they have to keep some of those guys on. They can't get rid of. If you're going to get rid of everybody, you can't do that. Trey Moore injured. They're counting on him. They got a different list. They have a list of guys that have upside that when they have those coaches meetings and they go over and they're getting closer now because they got to make some big decisions after this Atlanta game, maybe this week even, to get rid of some guys if they don't think they're going to be around. If you got a guy that's got upside, you go, what could he look like in November or December? And they go, I think he's got upside to him that he can play in this league. Okay. Then you go with some of those guys. But then you're going to have some guys where you go in and you go, he's not getting any better. He's the same guy he was when he got here. We're not seeing improvement. We may have to move on. And those are the two lists that they have to come up with. And I understand. Draft picks get the benefit of the doubt. Most of them will be on this team. Looks like Trey Moore going to be out for a while. I thought Kyle Lewis struggled in some certain situations, especially special teams. Had a rough one going down the field trying to.
That's part of it. And for a rookie, you're gonna hit pockets where you struggle. Look at Fernando Mendoza the other night. Look at Caleb Downs now in Dallas. He's had a couple bad practices. That's the issue to me is not only are they counting on this draft class, they're counting on 7, 8, 9 starting. That talks to the depth of the rest of the roster.
Yes, and if you're not getting it from your veteran free agent class, puts more pressure on those two guys I called the 21 special ones that you drafted the last 2 years. DJ Campbell looked like he graded out well. Nobody's talked about him. He played both left and right guard in the game. I noticed 63 was playing on the left, playing on the right. And
I think he came in when Proctor played the first 3 plays, and then he came in and took over.
Yeah,
right?
And then Josh Preed played, and DJ Campbell played, and Caden Wallace bounced around a lot. Hey, you got to get those. That's kind of. We got a lot of positions. You're like, okay, who are the key backups, and who are your 5 receivers? I know your first 3 or 4, but who's going to be 5 and who's going to be 6?
I think 5's on another team right now. 5, 4, maybe 4 is on another team right now too. I mean, Minnesota Patriots are flooded with receivers.
I think the first 4 are safe. It's just me. Caleb Douglas, Kevin Coleman, Malik Washington, and soon to be Chris Bell.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Malik can do a lot of things.
But you'd like to have a veteran receiver, wouldn't you?
I agree.
I mean,
one pure good veteran guy on the outside
to help all this group of young kids. It's just someone they can talk to, and maybe is a little better than them right now.
I tell you, the biggest disappointment for me is those veteran receivers. They signed a bunch of them, and I thought one of them would just break away and get a fresh start and really put it together. And it just hasn't happened. It just hasn't happened with the 4 or 5 guys you brought in.
The only guys you're talking about are the rookies and
that's it.
Malik Washington. That's it. That's all.
So anyway, hey, we got to go to break here. We got once again. I got a little out of whack there, like I usually do. But coming up at 7:40, Omar Kelly's going to join us. We'll talk to Omar about some of these things when we come back. So stay with us for that. First, though, I want to tell you about Baptist Health, South Florida, the great sports medicine program they have put together. Great. Why, Joe? Come on. Well, it's one of the top sports medicine programs in the country. So I slapped a great in front of it there. Where do the pros go? Inter Miami, the Heat, the Panthers, the Miami Dolphins, FIU. A lot of high school, college, and professional athletes, not just here in South Florida, but from all over the country, come down to see the specialists that they have. It starts with great specialists. And you can't have a top sports medicine program if you just have knee doctors. Nope, you got to have them all. Shoulder, foot and ankle, hand, back, hip and knee replacement. Our hip and knee replacement, talk about great ratings and rankings. Oh, my God, the hip and knee replacement doctors are fantastic. That team of guys they have doing that are unbelievable. Achilles doctors, they've seen it all. So next time you get injured, the reason I bring it up, you're going to be able to see those same doctors that take care of a lot of our professional athletes here in town as well as out of town. All you got to do is visit baptisthealth.net/ortho. 3 great facilities, by the way. Doctors Hospital in Coral Gables, Hard Rock Stadium next to the training facility, 595 in Pine Island in Plantation. The pineapple's alive and well and growing, man. It's growing. The next time you have an injury, just remember Baptist Health, one goal every day, about getting you back out playing the sports you love the most.
WQAM.
Welcome back. We are ready to roll again here. Dave Hyde's with us. Dave, by the way, I haven't even gotten to this yet, man. How we doing with Substack?
We're doing great. Great. I did a Hyde 10, I call it, 10 points after every Dolphin game. I did it Saturday afternoon, and a lot of the points we're hitting on right now, but very simple. Substack.com or the app, and hit that orange subscribe button, and all my columns go right to your email then. So it's a real simple way to do it. A lot more user friendly than today's newspaper world. I can take some shots, Joe.
That's all
I can
right.
take little shots at them, right?
You know what
That's
I was
allowed.
waiting for, Dave? I swear I was waiting for you to go, just don't read the Sun Sentinel. Just get the Miami Herald. And anyway, no, but you didn't do that.
I can do that. You know what? I as a
No, you can't do
as
that.
a reader, you know what?
You're a classy guy. You can't
No, the
do
Herald
that.
though is covering South Florida sport. They're trying to. Like they're covering the Marlins. They're
are.
covering the Panthers.
They do.
The Sun Sentinel, because of choices they made, doesn't have enough writers now. So no, well, they didn't have when I was there. Even,
Right.
I'm saying. So let's face it. Us in the business know the Herald has like 7.5 writers, and the Sun Sentinel has 4, and it's really hard to cover South Florida. And that's really, and I'm talking the whole death of newspapers.
Yeah.
Nationwide, both papers we used to have 49 people on staff at the Sun Sentinel in sports.
You know, you just took a shot, but you hit facts, and it wasn't like if somebody from the Sun Sentinel was listening, they're mad at you because you just stated facts. And
Well, part of me hurt.
you didn't really
a large
take any
part of
shots at
me,
anybody.
a large part of my career, newspapers. It was golden era for sports coverage from the 80s
No, it's
till
great.
2008, 9, 10, when things started to go south, and so part of me hurts where the papers are. Really, seriously.
Who's the half, by the way? Somebody. You said 7.5.
Yeah, because he's half editor, half writer. I'm drawing a blank. It's
'Cause,
Andres,
people
Andres
thought you were
Fernandez.
talking about Omar and
Andres
stuff,
Fernandez.
and I was
No. Omar's a whole. He gets a whole point, maybe 3/4 some
Are you
days.
kidding me? Omar, man, hey, Omar gets it rolling, man. They hear Omar. They hear whatever they want to say. They hear Omar. Whatever Omar says, they hear it at camp.
I'm feeling for the Omars and Perk and all them this year. It's going to be a rough one to come up with ideas when I remember the 1 in 15 year. Just asked you that was the most painful year to cover.
1 in 15. Well, it's weird because they had 2 Hall of Fame players on that team.
The defense was pretty good.
Couldn't score.
I remember being in the locker
They could
room
not
after.
score in a female penitentiary with a handful of parts. They could not score.
I remember Wayne Huizenga crying in the locker room when they won. Do you remember that? He was so emotional because he was afraid they were going to go 0-16.
Can I be honest with you? If you go back, don't go back and look. We should have lost that game.
Well, Brian Billick got fired, right?
Brian Billick's got his team down there. 4th and goal. Not much to go to score. We have the worst run defense like in football. We're giving up a lot of yards on defense. Our defense line is giving up a lot of yards. And he decided to kick a field goal. And it was like, okay. And Camarillo play. Great call by
I've
Mad
told
Dog
this story
Manning.
before. The second half of that when Brian Billick is fired and he gets a job with the NFL Network, and he goes to interview Steve Ross the next year. Steve Ross had just bought the team. He was in negotiations at that Baltimore game. After the game, Huizenga calls up Steve and Ross and said the price just went up $40 million because we won, and I realized how much fun it is to win. So Billick goes to meet Steve Ross, and Steve Ross greets him with, can I say that? He goes, "You SOB." And Billick's like, what? What did I do? He goes, "You cost me $40 million."
40
From that
million
call.
more.
That-
Wow. Well, that's wild. That is. But anyway, man, hey, I just get better. Everybody knows the situation, and if you don't, shame on you for not doing your homework on this. I mean, everybody's put it in your face about dead cap money and everything else. And Dave, honestly, you got to be ready to go for week 1. It's against the Raiders, and I just see what it's going to look like.
That's their
Put
best
together a
chance to
game plan.
win, right?
It's a good
I
chance.
think. I mean, maybe one of the Jets came later in the year, depending on injuries and what happens with the Jets season. But I just think out of the gates, and the Raiders are saying the same thing.
Yeah.
This is what
It's thin right now. Everybody's been writing about it. Hey, you got some good players. You got some good young guys that you can fill in part of it with, and a lot of it's going to depend on the offensive and defensive line being what you hope it will be quickly. But it's just right now you don't have close to 53 players. You really don't. You can look it up if you get a chance. Go to the roster or go to the depth of the thing and see what they have and put your own list together of guys you know for sure and you've seen play that, or know where they're drafted and all those things or what you've seen. You have trouble coming up with 40 guys on this team right now. You do. You have trouble, and it's a 53-man roster to start the season, plus practice squad. But I just think they're going to be very, very active in the open market. There's going to be a lot of guys that don't know it yet. They're going to be Miami Dolphin players.
This is 2019 all over again, where the week before the game, they're bringing guys on the roster, and they ended up playing in the opener. The first 4 weeks of that season were awful, but they coached them up, and so.
Well, listen, we got Omar Kelly from the Miami Herald, one of the full-time guys, not the half, but the full-timer, going to join us coming up. Right now, I want to talk about Harvey and Gary. Oh, Harvey Cohen and Gary Judah, the partners of Cohen and Judah Injury Law Firm. Hey, look, I hope you never have to go through it. I start with that. But reality is, slip and fall, automobile accident, not your fault, not your fault, not your fault. You need somebody to represent you because you are in physical pain. You've been through it, and you haven't felt good for a while. You need somebody to represent you, somebody that's going to treat you like you're first class, somebody that thinks you're important and not just a number. And if you've already made a mistake of going to a law firm that does a lot of real beautiful commercials and they don't handle cases and you're going to be a handoff, I don't know about handoffs. They should stick to high school, college, and professional football. Shouldn't be handoffs when you talk about law firms. Whoever is doing that spot ought to be representing you, man. And that's the one you like, right? You don't want to hear about a couple guys working or a couple women working in the back, a couple years out of law school that have got 400 cases on their desk. No. Well, you're not going to get that. Harvey Cohen and Gary Judah shake your hand, and they're off and running. And you'll even go like, who else you working? No. We handle your case. We're the ones that have all the experience, 35 years experience, big enough to go to trial and get you multi-million-dollar results, small enough just to call you back. See, they think communication every day is important. Nothing worse than being one of 400 and you can't get a hold of them because they're so busy and yours is not a priority right now. It's on the list but not at the top. Well, you're always going to be important with Harvey and Gary. That's just the way it is, man. Go to ConanJudah.com. Read the reviews. Partners you can always get a hold of. Even on the weekends, they're going to give you updates on how your case is going. They know what you're going through. Go to ConanJudah.com, 866-FAIR-FEE. And remember this, they don't pay other lawyers to do the work you hire them to do.
WQAM on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
Brought to you by Service Experts. To anyone who avoids HVAC repairs, it's time to leave it to the experts. With memberships that cover regular HVAC maintenance and worry-free repairs, Service Experts keeps your home healthy and happy. Visit serviceexperts.com to check out today's special offers and promotions.
You're listening to The Joe Rose Show. This hour is brought to you by Baptist Health.
All right, welcome back. Gosh darn it, I still can't hit it on time. Omar Kelly from the Miami Herald joins us this morning. Omar, how you doing?
I'm good, Joe. How you doing this morning?
We're good. Hey, before we get into everything, I love your 10 points. Thought they were on the money. Love most of them.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I want to ask you about Zeke Biggers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand. So it's one of a couple things. Either Zeke Biggers hasn't played because they already know what he can do, and they don't want to show anymore, or something's happened. Yeah. I just thought it was kind of weird for a guy that didn't play that much last year till late, has not played in a preseason game. What's the word?
I think we're probably a combination of both. I'm not certain, but I suspect he's nursing something, and he's right now too valuable of a piece for you to put him out there in a preseason game and get him injured. He is primarily your best hope at run stopping on the edges. And they feel like clearly everybody who did not dress last Saturday, they feel like we know enough. They're going to make the 53. If you played on Saturday, you were either on the bubble to make the 53 or you were a rookie. And some of those rookies got like one snap. So.
Yeah. Hey, just to follow up to that, but if he was injured, wouldn't they have something they have to put out on an injury report that he
that doesn't happen until the regular season starts.
Right.
And so it becomes secretive, super secretive. But I also think there's some sort of appeal to nobody being able to game plan for I know it's Zeke Biggers, but nobody's really able to game plan for what they're going to do defensively, probably with Zeke and with Chop.
All right, Omar, you saw the backup offensive line play, and we've seen the starting offensive line play. Where are we at? Where are you at? This is your baby. Yeah. I worked with you. Yes. Been in press boxes with you. Where are you at with the offensive line?
They're probably about 3 legitimate offensive linemen. No, let's say 2 away from having a respectable line. I like the starters. Am I confident that those starters are going to start 17 games? Absolutely not. You got to get people prepared to fill in for 12 games. Right now, you got to prepare for the worst case scenario. Right now, if something happens to Patrick Paul, you just move Caden Proctor out to left tackle. They're grooming DJ Campbell to be the left guard, the backup left guard. He's traditionally a right guard. I think he'd play better at right guard. He started to play better in the exhibition season, so that was encouraging to see. And then Caden Wallace. He the player that they traded from with Patriots. I saw him struggle last week in practice, but he really turned it. He really turned it on in the exhibition game. And then you pair them with not Aaron Brewer, but Andrew Myers, and you've got the backup 3. The question is, do you need more? And you absolutely need more. I expect them to be aggressive on the waiver wire. The only problem is offensive linemen are in demand everywhere. This isn't the only team that needs some depth at the offensive line.
Hey, so a couple of guys I do want to ask you about, and I can't get a read on them. Mm-hmm. We've talked about special teams not very good the other day. I think we all agree. None of it really. Coverage, none of it was good enough. So we got Cam
I make the point that Chris Tabor should get – I always believe that the special teams coach should get 5 guys. I get to pick my 5 guys that I want as my gunners and my core special teamers, and I could build a unit around that. So the Cameron Goods of the world, to me, Cameron Goods should be safe, but, I know how the game is played. You deserve, if you want to have a respectable special teams, and that's an important third phase of the game, especially when you're not good on offense or defense, you better be good on special teams. You got to give the special teams coach his players.
Yeah. How about Willie Gay? Is Willie going to make 53? I can't get a read on it. He made some plays.
Yeah.
And then I see Singletary bounce outside around him, and I'm like, where's containment, man? Where's containment? So what happens to Willie?
I wouldn't be surprised if Willie is waived, primarily because if you're a vested veteran and you're on the roster for the first week of the season, your contract is guaranteed, and I'm not sure they want to make those heavy commitments to guys like Tutu Atwell and Jalen Tolbert. And I'd also like to point out a lot of these free agents. I think there are only 2 free agents that were added this offseason. I know these are all minimum guys, but there are only 2 free agents, Josh Uche and Zane Anderson, who have really panned out. So, all these 40 players on minimum contracts, okay, bye-bye, see you. They're just not good enough players, and we understand why they bounce around the league, even though they've been former second-round picks and third-round picks. But it's to me, and I heard you earlier. This team is probably. I think my count is at.
What's your count at? I'm curious.
My count is at 45, and I'm being very generous. 45 players that belong.
I had trouble finding 45 that I'd definitely put on the team.
I'm being very generous. I didn't cut any of the rookies, so I didn't cut any of the draft picks. So, and I don't believe some of those draft picks deserve to be on a 53, but it is what it is. This is a young team. They're developing young. They're pushing towards youth. Go out there and claim 6 to 8 players on the waiver wire. Go out there and practice squad poach all year, and we'll see what we can get. I believe it was 2019, the Brian Flores' first season, the year that they cut Akeem Spence and traded away a ton of players. That team finished the year with 19 waiver wire claims. I believe we're already at 4, and the season hasn't started.
Yeah, that season. Remember, they were bringing in guys who played the first game the week of the first game, and I think this is going to be.
And I remember players telling me that we were so unfamiliar with the guys on the field, we just called each other by numbers.
Yeah, they didn't know their names.
They didn't know their names. Yeah.
Okay. Do you think let's carry that comparison through? Terrible first month that year.
Mm-hmm.
First 4, they lost the opener, I think 59-10 to Baltimore, and
first 2 were
first 4 games were awful.
Yeah.
Then they turned it around. Do you, in part because Fitzpatrick, and you can draw the parallel here to Willis, and do you see a similar season like that ahead?
Yeah, definitely. I think no matter what, even if you were waiver wire claiming and building new teams as the season goes on, I think a first-year offensive coordinator and a first-year defensive coordinator, they're going to start out rough. Look at the season before that. Anytime you're installing something new and there's lack of familiarity and people have to get comfortable in the scheme and people are second-guessing themselves, there's going to be a slow start to it. I expect this to be a better team at the end of the season than it is at the beginning of the season. And now that's not an excuse, because I don't want to make any excuses for this team. Not even the $179 million in dead cap. Most of that money is you consciously chose to do that. So if that's the route you're going to take, then there are going to be consequences to it. Everybody knows. I was crying about the credit card debt for years, and everybody was just like, "Oh, you're making a big deal about nothing." Oh. I'm like, okay, you keep adding void years to these contracts, and you're going to eventually have to pay that credit card off. This is the year they're going to pay the credit card off. They're going to have financial freedom next year, but the key is to build it with youth, first and second year players, young players like Will Kazmarek. And I think Will Kazmarek has had a good preseason. You just got to continue to take those steps forward. Chop Robinson, Jonas Savania, they're second or third year players. Their confidence is building. They're having success. You got to just keep stacking those successes on top of one another.
All right. How do you feel about quarterbacks 2, 3, and 4? What do we do? Do we have to go out and look for somebody from somewhere else? Or
yeah. We're going to get a chance to look at Quinn this week. He's coming off the groin injury. I'm not that optimistic because I think Quinn has probably had one of the biggest struggles this camp. I expect a better quarterback from what he's shown. I am absolutely unequivocally, without a doubt, claiming somebody another quarterback that a team is trying to sneak onto their practice squad. I've even put on Twitter, I put my list of 12 out that I would love for them to claim. And there are a lot of them are draft picks that teams just threw on the third day. And, I would have loved for the Dolphins to have selected them, a Garrett Nessmeyer, a Kyle McCord 2 years ago. He's been in Green Bay's system for 2 years. I love Kyle McCord coming out of Syracuse. Taylor Green, he barely even gets a snap in Cleveland's 5 quarterback competition. So maybe if they like Dylan Gabriel, I'm not a huge fan, but it's got something's got something. You know what? But Joe, here's the thing. Not only do they need somebody for the practice squad too. So if you want to put Cam Miller on your practice squad, cool. That's fine with me. But somebody, Quinn Ewers, I would stash him on the injury reserve and claim somebody, to be honest with you, and let that grow and heal for the first month of the season.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you about wide receiver. All we're doing now is talking basically about the 3 draft picks, and and by the way, we're hoping we get to see the third guy coming up here pretty soon. What's your expectations of what the wide receiver? I think we still might need a guy from the outside. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely, Joe. Tutu Atwell's probably been the biggest disappointment of training camp. There's nothing there. I don't know what happened. There's ability there, but there's just nothing there coming from him. None of these veterans have panned out. None of the guys that are holdovers like the Theo Weises or the Taj Washington have really done anything. AJ Henning is probably the guy that makes my 53-man roster as my 5th guy. If I'm going to keep a 6th, it would probably be Jalen Tolbert, but I'm not committed or married to any of those guys. Hopefully Chris Bell practices this week in limited work and limited contact work and looks good, can get out there and run 7 plays during the preseason and just get his feet wet, get some of those nerves out. But yeah, this is going to be an entire unit ran by rookies, and I wouldn't be shocked if they go out and they claim another receiver, because I think a lot of talented receivers are going to be on the waiver wire. And people got to understand, I look at this as Sullivan's second opportunity to have a draft. You're going to have access to 1,000 players. Yeah. Some of these players you were rated high on the draft boards in 2024, 2025, 2026, and you are 11th in the claims order. Go out there and find yourself some help, because this roster, it needs it. It absolutely needs it.
Omar, what have you learned about the standards, expectations, and the big word culture that Jeff Hafley's putting in place?
They want to be physical. They practice physical. I like that. They're coaching, they're mentoring, their communication is really good with the players and the media. So we understand the expectations. I also like that they're building guys up. So if there's a little inkling of something that they can praise a player for, they'll praise them, but then they'll also tell you the work that needs to be done, like Dante Trader. Dante Trader didn't play a perfect game, but he's very important and critical to the secondary. And yesterday, Hafley gave him a little bit of praise, and it's encouragement. And when you have a young team that's nobody perceives to be good, you gotta encourage them where there are areas where they can be encouraged.
Well, it's a lot to talk about there. How do we treat this last preseason game? What's your gut feeling?
I think there was going to be, for at least the first quarter, dress rehearsal for the starters and take a look. I think this whole week is going to be, this is how we game plan. This is how we prepare for the week. You need to figure out how to get your body ready and get ready for game day. So I think we will see the starters out there, and then we'll get back to our fringe competitions.
Get some rest, my man, because after this week. It's going to be wild. It's going to be wild, man, on those final cuts and who's in and who's out and
who's
practice
claimed.
Squad. Yeah, who we claim. Oh, it's going to be crazy out there. Anyway, thank you, Omar. I appreciate you coming on. Thank you.
All right, guys.
Omar Kelly from the Miami Herald, man. Got some good stuff out today, matter of fact. Hey, you need some cash to pay off taxes, liens, judgments, IRS, high interest rates, second mortgages, credit card debts. Call Mike Okatsi at Choice Mortgage. Call or text them 561-441-2730. If you own a commercial or residential property with equity, call right now. He can help you. He can help you, and he can help you quickly. It's about great service. Mike Okatsi, with his experience about great service, he understands when you need money and you need a second mortgage, and you need to pay some things off, he can get it done quickly for you. That's what it's all about, man. He's been helping Floridians for over 30 years. If you're looking to buy a home today, he'll get you pre-approved with a little money down. Now's the time to lock in before interest rates go even higher. Call or text him. He works 24/7, Saturday and Sunday, 561-441-2730. Nobody does it like Mike Okatsi at Choice Mortgage. Hell, he's even set up some of his own programs that will benefit you by calling him. MLS 166254. Rates and terms subject to change. Daily without notice. He's an equal housing lender.
Panthers, the 3-time NBA champion Miami Heat, Miami Hurricanes basketball, and now the new home of the 2-time World Series winner Miami Marlins.
Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
In Miami, we go to the beach for a little solcita, and when you want a low price, you save with your Pricito. Save now with your Pricito at Doral Hyundai. The Dolphins, they're getting ready for a Friday 7 o'clock kickoff against the Falcons. The Marlins swept the Nationals, winning 6-2 yesterday. The Red Sox are in town for 3 games. The first pitch tonight is at 6:40, and Klay Thompson reportedly gave up $9.8 million when he was bought out by the Dallas Mavericks. He's scheduled to make $17.5 million this season, but will now play for the Heat. 2 years, $13 million deal. This weather report is brought to you by Tornado Roofing and Contracting. Have a leaky roof? Take action now. Get your free estimate, 954-968-8155. Temperatures around 92 degrees for a high with scattered showers throughout the day. I am Dan Day. Now back to the Joe Rose Show here on 104.3 FM WQAM.
All right, we're back. Always a little late, but we're back. By the way, the Marlins, congratulations. Another broom out for the series against the Nationals. If they could just play the Nationals about 30 times. They're 8-1 this year against the Nationals. 4 this week against Washington on the road. But before we get to that, you got the Red Sox, as All Day Dan Day just said. Red Sox at home starting tonight. They currently sit, I think, in the second wild card position after playing great baseball to get out there. And why we're talking about all this, Marlins' home record has just been, I knew it was good, 41-25 on the season. And a big congratulations to Tommy Hutton, who truly has been one of those really special guys, man. He has been really good. I think everybody enjoys listening to him. He gets a little fired up, plus just having him there. And by the way, he and Seeloff have really good chemistry right now.
Yeah, it was a fun game to watch with him. And they put up a graphic, little unknown facts about Tommy Hutton. One was Tommy was on the dating game. I would have liked to seen that dating game show.
He's a Southern California guy. That doesn't surprise me. He was in Southern California. They're a little different down there in Southern California.
Yeah,
it just seems like everybody down there looks better. They're all, I don't know, like Northern California got some of the.
What? Go ahead. You're the Northern California guy, Joe, so you can make fun of your brethren.
Well, I'm going, I got to be careful how I do this. This is where I stick my foot in my mouth. You look at UCLA and USC, and the
beautiful
talent,
people.
Beautiful people. You look at Stanford and Cal, not so beautiful people.
But smart people.
So I don't know, Tommy. But no, listen, man. Tommy has been the best and just great, and good for him, man. Having his family with him and doing that celebration is a classy move by the organization, the right thing to do, and going forward to see what they do. They're rotating guys a lot. I don't know if they continue that or if they make some changes. I do like their play-by-play guy, Kyle Seeloff. Not a big fan of the last guy. I was very happy to see he was gone. Just totally, and nobody ever does. Never rubs me. The last guy rubbed me the wrong way. He was just like, oh, he's got to go.
Baseball, and I don't know what it's like to grow up with baseball, obviously now, but when we grew up, I was like every day I'd listen to the radio play-by-play guy, and I was a big Red Machine. Al Michaels was the play-by-play guy of the Reds one year or maybe a couple years when I grew up.
We're showing our age, though.
Yeah, no, but
that World Series was during the day. We were in school, and we got our teachers turning like, all right, World Series, we're going to listen today.
But now it's more with the TV guys that you're attached to, because I watch all the games, or a lot of the games, and yeah, so those are the guys you listen to and sort of invite into your house for a couple hours a night.
Yeah, we got great TV guys. Now, I have to admit, most of them are my good friends, but they're really good. They've been with the teams a long time and really, really good across the board. It's a good batch. Right now it's a good time. So, Anyway, saying all that, we got some other news. This Deshaun Watson thing is just, it was very awkward to hear it. This thing with Deshaun Watson and Shedeur Sanders for a starting job. And Deshaun Watson got going on how he's being treated by the Cleveland Brown fans. And he talked about his Achilles, blown out his Achilles, and they were cheering at the stadium at Cleveland when he got hurt. I guess he got hurt in Cleveland. And then he talked about he gets booed and he just – but at least he understands why. It's not just he hasn't played great. He doesn't look anything as a quarterback like he did when he was in Houston. Do you agree with that? He run around and
in Houston, he looked like he was a franchise quarterback. I mean, he was the epitome of one. And the question becomes, because all this personal, just awful stories came tumbling out, did that scar him to the point he can't play anymore?
It was just one after the other. You know, if it had been one or two, I think most fans see one or two and they go, it's a money grab by a woman. I think that's how people think. But you have a civil lawsuit and allegations of sexual assault, and we start getting the numbers into the 30s, 27 to 30. And, yeah, it's –
does this become the worst trade? Because this was a trade officially in NFL history. I mean, the one that's held up, you got the Herschel Walker trade, which was different. You got the John Elway trade when Baltimore had to trade him.
This ranks up there as – now, listen, those you brought up are great ones. They gave this guy $230 million guaranteed. It's the most guaranteed money ever given to a court. The whole contract was guaranteed. Nobody else, by the way.
That's how they got him. I mean, he wasn't going there
because they weren't on the final three list. Do you realize how many teams were in like the final three and how many teams is considered? And by the way, the Dolphins did their homework. Don't think they didn't try to dance in the party a little bit.
We're fortunate not to get him.
So, you know, all this stuff comes out. But, you know, for people just to like, it's not a big deal. It's 30 women. And then I'm guessing some of them got paid off, right?
Yeah, some of them did. I mean, some of them took
some
agreement.
money. So, yeah, it's going to be tough for him to play there this year, and they're probably not going to be very
he's not
going
to play. He's hitting his career over. I mean, there's two quarterbacks I look at right now who are in line. They're the team's trying to help them out and keep them competing. One is Deshaun Watson. They should have moved on from him and just cut themselves from all this drama that's going on.
Agree.
And the other one, I thought he'd have a chance, but Tua's showing nothing. As he kept diminishing last season to the point Mike McDaniel had to bench him, and now he's shown nothing in Atlanta that he has anything left.
Well, if it doesn't work out for him, he can do the same thing he did here and rip the coach going out that was a coach's fault and stuff and not take any responsibility for things that he's not doing. But anyway, yeah, the Deshaun Watson thing is he was so open about it, and then his coach comes out and says, just win, everybody will love you. I don't think that's the case. First of all, I don't think they're just going to win.
Well, I think the coach took the job, Todd Monken took the job this year knowing he had to coach up Deshaun Watson, knowing he had to take on Deshaun Watson, because the owner, Jimmy Haslam, saying, we're not going to, like the Dolphins said, we're done with the money. Okay, we're going to move on from Tua. Jimmy Haslam said, no, I paid this. We're going to get whatever we can out of it. So at the start of camp, it was interesting. Todd Monken talked him up. We're getting back to where he was. We're going to find what he can do. But now, yesterday, he said maybe it'd help if he played better at quarterback.
Yeah.
And the fans can boo. The fans, that's the one thing they have the right to do.
They find ways for distractions. Like no team's business. They really do. They find every year, 6 quarterbacks last year, this year coming back. Deshaun Watson's going to have a chance. How did they think that was going to work for a guy that's basically been suspended or injured his whole career since he's been with Cleveland? And now all of a sudden at the end of the career, this is going to be the year. How did they think this thing was really going to go?
And Shedeur Sanders. I mean, you talk about another. I don't know how good he is, but I like him before a microphone. He says a lot of interesting things.
Well,
but
he's
can he play?
Deshaun
Can he play quarterback?
Watson, which I respect that he's going. Hey, it's, it's wrong. People are doing this, but I think a lot of this has to do with, I don't know, if he played better, there's no question the fans would support him a lot more if he was playing.
Well, there's players who have done awful things who play good, and all of a sudden they're here again. And number one on the list is Kobe Bryant. I mean, he was up for rape trial, a very public rape trial in Denver, in Vail.
And then I think Kobe carried it out with, I should do what Shaq did. And,
yes.
And Shaq was mad, and that added to the anger of that relationship.
But the point is here that Kobe, great player, and by all accounts, publicly he rehabilitated himself publicly too, and everybody knows when he died he was beloved, and he still is. Whereas Deshaun Watson hasn't played well at all, and he's never been able to distance himself from the things he did. Look, people would cheer if he threw 3 touchdowns regularly in games. Cleveland Brown fans would cheer him, and it's rehabilitation through playing.
Let me ask you, if Deshaun Watson would have come out, I always wonder this. I was just thinking, because people always tell you, just tell the truth and it won't be as bad. And sometimes you just can't. I don't know. I'm sure you've done it at some point. You just, like, I got to lie this one to the end. If he would have come clean on what he had done.
No, it wouldn't have helped. I wouldn't have helped. Or, I mean, there was so much public information that, you mean if he came out and apologized?
Yeah, just said, man, I made some mistakes. I know I did. I know I went too far.
I mean, if he made one mistake, but as you've said, I forget the number now, but it was in the dozens of women that were.
I had to look it up. I think it went as high as 30 plus.
So I don't think publicly. I mean, I think he should have had some type of, and maybe he did. I don't remember if he did some type of public.
I don't know.
Accountability for what happened.
Well,
but
we got that story, and then on top of that, this Daquan Wright. You're going to hear a lot about that story as well. Set to play for LSU after either asked or getting ready to be released by the Browns, of course. And before that, the Eagles released him. He was a good tight end at Ole Miss in the 2 years that Kiffin had him. Lane Kiffin, who was the Ole Miss coach, now at LSU, is going to get his tight end back. 66 catches, a little over 1,000 yards, and 9 touchdowns in the 2 years he was there. And he said, hey, man, he can help us at LSU. This is a weird one. Did you ever think? We talk about guys being in an NFL camp that are now going, you can cut me if you want. I'll make a hell of a lot more money. Because the best thing's going to happen to me is I'm going to be on somebody's practice squad for a couple $100,000. I can make a lot more going back to college.
Well, let's move this forward to next week at this time when cuts are being made and the Dolphins are trying to claim people. Are they going to be competing against college NIL money to claim people?
There's more guys right now, besides just that 16, that are trying and realize there's a hole in there for them to jump back into college football. This thing, they're going to be a whole bunch of guys that are going to the legal
system. The
system.
NFL will have to increase their practice squad money to compete with NIL money if this keeps going on.
5 for 5. It ain't no jive right there. Hey, we are way behind here this morning, and it's me. It's not you. It's me. Summer's upon us, and Dr. Barry's team at Recovery Unplugged has your back. Their mental health residential program in Fort Lauderdale is a private, comfortable space to heal with music-based care that hits the right note every time. Hey, right now, if you're a little off the road, depression, anxiety has hit you due to maybe a marriage headed south, you lost your job, or just struggling with people in general, and you can't get out of it by yourself. You need some help. It's okay, man, because I'm telling you right now, Recovery Unplugged can make a difference. Dr. Barry and his staff are fantastic. They accept most major insurance plans. Call 954-737-4508 or visit recoveryunplugged.com. Right now, if you're going through it or somebody you care about is going through it, please tell them about Recovery Unplugged. Please have them go down and meet with Dr. Barry and his staff. They can really make a difference. 954-737-4508 or visit recoveryunplugged.com. This summer, heal out loud.
The Joe Rose
Welcome back. Dave Hyde with us this morning as we continue as Woody still up in Canada on his way back. Apparently there was some real tough draft picks to be made, and they're running out of shirts, those matching shirts that they had
I'm
made
afraid
up,
they're
different
dirty.
colors.
I'm afraid they're dirty now. They might come back. I hope they send them to the hotel to get washed,
So is this for young guys? I guess this goes on. I know everybody gets together, but usually most people just do it down here, right?
I have a group of friends that do the same thing. That
They go
Hollywood group
somewhere
does.
else, or you do it here?
Yeah, usually they like you said, Dave, like they rent like an Airbnb somewhere and they just do their draft and they go out on the town and they have a weekend or whatever. No matching shirts though.
You think the matching shirts is?
Well, you said they made them different colors this year. I think
Well,
that's
because they want everybody to know why they're there.
I'd like to. Okay, someone hit up Woody for a team picture. I think you need to put it on the site here.
I don't think they have the basketballs to do that because they know the.
I think they do.
the
I
heat
think.
they
I
would
think
take.
it's better to have it different colors because then you don't stand out. If everyone's wearing the exact same yellow shirt, then you stand out. But, if it's different colors, then you could maybe, blend in a little bit.
But if the point isn't to stand out, why have the team shirts?
That's a good point.
I mean,
So where do your buddies go since we've been tracking Woody? What did we decide? Well, Woody tell you he's in Canada. He's going to Toronto or Montreal?
I think it was Montreal, right?
yeah, it was Montreal.
Okay. All right. So do your buddies go?
We had a group go to, I think they went to like Fort Myers or something, somewhere semi-local. I don't know why they went there. Probably a cheap
That's a poor
Airbnb.
man's trip. Yeah, it's a poor man's trip
I
right
think
there. Good.
the cheap Airbnb probably played a factor in that one.
That's all right, though.
Yeah.
The beers are still cold.
Beers still flow. Yeah.
Couple women to look at while you're there.
I'm sure these guys' girlfriends are happy too. They get away for them a weekend and they do their own thing.
Yeah. Jamie, are most of your
Says the older single guy.
Yeah. All day Dan Day. All day Dan Day. By the way, all day Dan Day, I have learned he's still old school. He likes to meet him in person.
He is old school, yeah.
He likes to meet him in person.
Thursday night. I can't wait.
You've put some promotions for that. Come and meet Dan Day. That ought to be on the
How about
marquee.
you need a little all day Dan Day in your life? You need a little all day Dan Day
You need a
in
little
your life.
Dan Day all day.
No question about it. Hey, Jamie, are most of your buddies at your age, you guys are all younger, married or not? Not that many guys.
It's a mixed bag. I don't have any friends that are married, but some that have serious girlfriends that are probably trending that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think Woody said it was 8 to 10 guys were married.
That was my son's. 8 of 10 were married.
He had one guy that's a bandit. I mean, he's knocking them out 3 at a time. He's got one guy does
3 at a time.
He does really well with the ladies. Is my point, without getting carried away.
All the other guys, what do they look at him like he's their hero? Or
You know what the other guys do? Hold on a sec. My wife's on the phone again.
Yeah.
Hi, honey. I'm right here. We didn't do anything last night.
FaceTime.
Except for the one guy. Except for him. He does his own thing. He does his own thing, honey.
There's always that one guy that's a little wild still. That was me. Anyway, yeah, there's all different types there, but yeah, having fun. So I guess you got a couple weeks to get that done though, right? You got to wait. Why wouldn't you wait for final cuts before you decide what you're?
See, I always like to draft as close to the season as possible.
I agree.
Because then, players get hurt, contract holdouts, hold-ins, whatever it is. Got to wait till that as close as you can.
That's my son my second son's methodology. They don't go anywhere. They just do it in town and last week before the season. So they're the two varying
that's
degrees
the budget
of it.
Draft. I like that, man.
Do you want to go with your buddies and have a weekend away and fantasy draft, or do you want to have the smart just in town?
I think Woody went to Austin too. That sounds like it'd be a fun place.
Austin's a great city.
It's
yeah,
a jumping
it's the only
town.
city in Texas worth going to.
I'd want my league to do like Nashville. I think Nashville's fun.
I like Dallas. It was fun when we were there. What's that again?
I like Nashville. That's where I would want to go.
Yeah, Nashville's a good
We
one.
had a
That's
blast in Nashville.
Great city.
Seems like a fun spot. I've never been over there. I want to go.
A lot of music in Nashville.
A lot of music, a lot of blondes.
You know what? A lot of wedding bachelorette
party. It's the
Up and
capital.
down
It's the bachelorette
up and down the street.
That's
party
perfect.
capital of America.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Perfect.
That's
Perfect.
That plays. Yeah.
He won't need to swipe right. He'll just
No.
hit on the
Walk
bridesmaids.
around.
Yeah.
One last shot, right? That's right, before they get married.
Take a lap. Yeah.
The other city like that, Indianapolis, has a lot
Really?
of bridesmaids. Yep, because both of them, you think about it, they're the big city in a surrounding a lot of smaller towns. So that's sort of where they meet. Yeah, as someone who traveled the country covering
Dave,
games,
I don't know, man.
yeah.
I'm not putting Indy with Nashville.
No. As far as
Phoenix is big,
bachelorette
too.
parties, but as far as a lot of bachelorette parties.
Nashville just is jumping, and I got to tell you, I went with we did the in-laws, all of us, all the young couples. Margaret and I are the oldest, but we did that with them, and we hit it starting at 12, those places, and I'll tell you what, by 10 or 11 at night, I was tapping out.
I was going to say, if you could start at 12 and you're a horse, I know you can keep going and going and going.
No, but that's a lot. But boy, what great places!
Yes, all the country singers obviously
Trying to get noticed, trying to get right. You got to start
Yeah.
there, and it was no Nashville's jumping, man. There's no question about it. I don't know how much of a country lover I am on the full-time country music, but it's changed a lot. It's a lot more.
country music isn't country music anymore.
Not that stuff
it's
I listen
pop
to.
country now. you
Not
know?
that stuff, that
we-
hillbilly stuff I grew up with.
Yeah, can we say that with
It's
Dina
definitely
B down the
become
road?
more pop, modernized.
yeah. You don't
But no,
got
I
the
think
twang.
I think you see some of those women in Nashville, you might start liking country music a little bit more.
No, I was. Hey, man, there were a lot of beautiful people out.
Oh,
Ain't
yeah.
nothing wrong with those boots and those. Yeah, I'm with you.
Cowboy boots, cowboy hats. Yeah.
I'm way out of the game, brother.
Going
Yeah, I was
country
gonna
on
say,
me.
I don't even
I
know
just
where
for
to
the
go with it.
record-
I just want
Just
to.
for the record, while we're going, I'm just all I'm doing is looking.
If you got cowboy boots and cowboy hats, send them to Jamie. Can they send you stuff on this Tinder and all that? No, they can't. It's just
I don't think you do Tinder though, do you?
I'm on all of them, Joe.
Keep your options open, man.
Joe. It's a numbers game here, Joe.
So you think the girls get on most of them or no?
I mean, I have the most success on Hinge. I don't have much success on Tinder, but I'm still on there.
Somebody told me that
Can't hurt.
Tinder is like a hit and run. Like you just like, all right, let's have a drink and let's go have sex. Is that true or no?
I haven't had that type of experience on Tinder, but
But he's looking for one.
No.
What about you, Dan? What's your success rate? on
My
this?
best is with Bumble. Because I guess I'm dating older. When I say older women, when they're not in their 20s, they like the control. Because Bumble, the woman has to initiate things. So I think, they're more likely to do that. Or maybe I'm just a Bumble guy. I don't know.
I don't know what you are all day.
I don't know. I think that's my problem. I don't know what I
I
am.
know your ass stays out late though. I do know that. All right. We gotta get caught up. We got totally off sports, man. I had all that stuff. Klay Thompson, man, welcome to South Florida. I don't know when they're going to make that official and have that little press conference, but one of the great three-point shooters of all time, and one of the two guys that I was kind of hoping we could get.
They've had a great offseason, haven't they? I mean, Giannis, obviously, and then
Well, we
building
were
around him.
We got a little piggy
We
there
got-
for a
we
little.
did-
We got a little piggy waiting on LeBron.
That's the thing. If they had gotten him, then they're a championship contender, right? And now
DeMar
I still
DeRozan-
have a hard time. A lot of people are picking them like 5th, 6th in the
That's all
East,
right.
and
Sounds a lot better than where we've been.
yeah. Well, it
Playing.
also tells you what the East has done. It's been the conversation because they've been making a lot of moves the teams have in the East.
I will tell you, man, that Philly thing, if you happen to catch them a night where everybody's healthy, that's going to be fun to watch.
I just got to see how it's going to work. I know when you have a lot of talent and a lot of smart guys, that it'll all work out. And LeBron can fit anywhere because that's who he is. But can Jaylen Brown fit anywhere? I'm curious to see how this will play out.
Yeah. Well, listen, I want to come back and talk to you about the Miami Hurricanes football team. Speaking of a week from this Friday in Stanford.
Wow, we're there.
I think they're leaving on like a Tuesday to go out. So they're leaving a week from tomorrow. Is that right? Yeah, that'd be a week from tomorrow. Be taken off. So that thing's right around the corner now. Going out there, an ACC game to play, and everybody's raving about how good they're looking and everything. Are you worried about the one football trying to keep everybody's numbers up?
No, because
I think Mario's made it clear.
I think there'll be enough for well, they already had one wide receiver leave, right? So they are just stacked at wide receiver. But no, I'm not worried about that because
you know whose numbers I want to see take off. It's not a former Duke wide receiver. It's not Malachi.
I was going to say Malachi would be the
Joshua Moore is a guy that he's like 6'4", 220. Big, fast guy. Man, I can't. He's just got all the makings to be like, if there's a guy that looks like a number one receiver that's on that team right now, please don't take it. I'm not taking shots at anybody. That guy's got the look. That big, strong receiver that just got to just keep his head up and just use that talent. My God, it would be fantastic. Hey, if you're looking for a truck, your South Florida Chevy dealers love to tell you about the truck family. Yeah, I like talking about SUVs and that Tahoe too much, and then they like the Chevy Colorado, and hell, I like it too. Why not? It's a perfect South Florida truck for everybody, whether it's a Colorado custom to the ZR2, it's got the right tools to exceed your expectations, or maybe you want to turn things up a couple of notches with a Chevy Silverado. Yep, the big boy. Boy, we've custom-made a truck perfect for you for the custom Trail Boss to the Silverado EV. We got 10 models and 4 powerful engine choices. Silverado really delivers an impressive balance of strength, dependability, and efficiency. Or you can step up, man, to the Chevy Silverado HC. Choose from the powerful LTZ with the premium style and substance to match. Or just go to the big boy, the Chevy Silverado HD High Country. What I'm saying is it's like we've custom-made a truck perfect for your lifestyle. From full-time working truck, that's how you work 7 days a week sometimes, and you need a truck as durable as you are to the truck to just get the family around and enjoy yourself on the weekends. Visit your local South Florida Chevy dealers today. We are loaded down at all 14 dealerships throughout South Florida. We are loaded down with trucks. Silverado trucks, man, they are everywhere. Together, let's drive.
WQAM broadcasting live from the
Marlins, big old 3-game series coming up, starting tonight with the Red Sox, who just beat the you-know-what out of the Giants.
You got two teams who just swept series, the Marlins and the Red Sox meeting tonight.
So, hey, man, just keep it going. Take 2 out of 3 and get back in this thing. Don't lose any ground because everybody ahead of you is playing pretty well right now. The Padres playing really well. Obviously, the Phillies playing really well.
Yeah, their sights are the Padres and Arizona, I believe, are the teams right ahead of them they got to look at. So, whatever, they go into getting to September and making it interesting, right?
I can't believe the record at home. It's incredible. 41-25. One of the best in baseball.
Yeah, it was like 5th, I think. Jordan McPherson had in his story today.
Yeah.
You know, they
Nice
had
story.
losing records the last 2 years at home.
That was a knock. You got to win. By the way, Eric Reed talked to him, and he always reminds me, "Hey man, we got to have a good record at home. Got to win at home. Win on the road is not easy. Just not an easy thing." So we'll see what they have. They're 8-1 against the Nationals and 4 more this week. That's good news because they have played really, really well against the Nationals. We just wish we had them on the schedule about 15 more games, but that's not the case. And big congratulations to Tommy Hutton, man, through the years. Has always been a class act, always been nice to everybody, and really, really good at what he does. He's worked with some different guys here, but he's been great. Remember who his great friend was? Gary Carter. He and Gary Carter were really close up and neighbors, and I think they golfed together and stuff.
He was an announcer for the Marlins too. Gary Carter, I'm sure. I remember
Was
going
he?
up. He was a minor league manager in not Vero.
I enjoyed being around Gary Carter.
Port St. Louis. Great, very positive guy. He was a lot. And the knock on him from writers was he talks too much. I love guys who talk too much.
I'll give you another guy that I really enjoyed being with, and I got very close to through the years, and it was the greatest thing. Pete Rose Sports Bar, for anybody up in Boca that might have gone off Glades Road there. Pete Rose had a sports bar, and he put a radio studio in there, and we went up there and did shows. And matter of fact, at the time, QAM had shows that we would do up there, and the amount the guys that he had that would come in, and Pete would come just about every night. And honestly, I love being around Pete Rose. I could listen to Pete Rose story. Nobody had better stories than Pete Rose. And they were guy stories. So
I was going to say they're very earthy stories of tough baseball.
I don't think I could share them, but some of them, like when I saw my dad loved Pete Rose. My dad, you know what my dad loved about Pete Rose? How hard he played. Wasn't that he was the most talented guy.
That's what everybody loved about Pete
But he
Rose.
sprinted to first. Now, a lot of people thought he was being a hot dog by sprinting to first after he walked. And he took guys out. He's from the old school. He took one of his best friends, Ray Fosse, in an All-Star game. And the story was that they are all out the night before the All-Star game, the Fosses and Ray Fosse and his wife and Pete Rose. And the next day destroys his career. He runs him over. He destroyed him at the home plate in an All-Star game.
The game I grew up with following the Big Red Machine in Cincinnati. I got Pete Rose stories, but in a game, the story that I remember, he hit 44 straight games, and they're playing Philadelphia. Gene Garber was the reliever for the Phillies, who struck Pete out in the 9th inning for his last at-bat, ending the streak. And it was such a moment. Gene Garber's jumping off the mound, pumping his fists, and Pete Rose is about to run out and fight him. You know, the thing is, Pete caused such intense emotions both ways, for and against, that said who he was.
And he had some rocky times with some of his former teammates, including
Johnny Bench was right at
maybe
the top
the best
of the
catcher in
list.
baseball ever. I think most people think Johnny Bench might be the greatest catcher of all time. All around, everything. And they're just the gambling thing just put everybody in an awkward situation. It did. It just. But I got to tell you, he used to come up and go to all of Dan Marino's charity golf tournaments that he had out in Weston, and he had stories. He sat around. He had great stories. show up. I played in some softball games. He did a softball thing, and we go up there and listen. He'd have some of the former guys up there, and they're wild men. Listen, they not only were playing a doubleheader, they were playing doubleheader at night, all night. They got after it, man, and enjoyed their lives. But yeah, Pete's got great stories. He's got stories you going, no way. I just don't know who lives around here. I wouldn't want anybody to tell the story I have.
There's one guy who lives around who goes to games, all the Dolphin games and all that, who's part of that team. Larry Starr was the trainer. I remember listening to Al Michaels, "Here Comes the Star of the Reds," when someone got hurt.
Hey, speaking of that, and I should talk to you about this off the air. You remember Gary Nolan? Young pitcher, 18-year-old pitcher, came up.
Yeah.
He's from Oroville. He's
right where you grew up.
Right up there where I grew up. And they had this Northern California banquet, and he showed up. And I was like, I can't believe it. I said, I can't believe you're here. And, it was nice. I sat in the back and talked to him. Gary Nolan.
That's pretty neat. How far is that from St. Mary's, where you grew up?
From Marysville? It's 20 minutes.
Oh, so same.
The little towns are all connect. Roseville, Marysville, Oroville. Yeah. And with some little towns in between them there. But, yeah.
Gary Nolan would have some stories, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. As a young guy on that team, on some of those great Reds teams, yeah, but they had some of the greatest teams ever put together. You start looking at all the names, and, hell, we had Tony Perez here with us, right? Had Tony for a long time. His son's doing real well on TV, big part of their baseball coverage. All right, we got the man, it just snuck out. What the hell happened? All the time fly. When I'm with you, Hyde, man, things are just flying around here.
Love it.
We got the 9 o'clock hour coming up here. Yeah, man, I've tried my best to try to give you everything from that 26-3 loss, full of backups, and what I came away with is we got a long way to go, and we're a very thin team, and we may have to go on the outside and look. All the writers have already started to put their list together of who's in and who's out, and who's for sure on this team after draft picks and the guys that are established guys here. I got to tell you, man, it's hard to get to 40 guys right now. Now, the team obviously feels differently and sees some upside on guys we don't see or I don't see. But it'll be interesting with after this week. And it's 2 a week coming back. After he didn't play he played in the practice, but he did not play in the game.
He's going to have to play, right? I assumed if they want to get him ready. He had a terrible first game. He had a bad inter-squad scrimmage against the Colts, and then sat out the this past weekend's game. So
Michael Penix Jr. just got cleared for full practice.
Okay, but
by the way, if they start Michael Penix off a little bit in the final preseason game and the bye week, and they name Penix as starter, that's all you need to know about how they feel.
I think
he's not going to quit.
Well, he's making $50 million.
Well, he makes it no matter what.
Isn't it time though? I think he's done. I think physically something's
I don't think he'll quit.
Off.
There is something.
No, I think he will quit. I think
if he watched what we saw, he would think, "Wow, this is a little bit what I look like at the end of the year with the Dolphins. Maybe something's, this fresh start and all this stuff. Hey, maybe he turns it on." But Dave, there are a lot of people agree with you on a serious note that you need to take the end of that money. You made over $200 million in guaranteed money. God bless you. You didn't put a gun to anybody's head, and go enjoy your life. That's nice. With the way
that's how I would say. And I'm sure he's getting some of that counsel from people inside the circle, right?
I don't think he listens. He's already told us.
He can't at
he's
that
already
level
told
play
us so, Dave. He told us, I know what's at risk. I don't care. I'm a football player. I remember when he said it. Hey, hurricane season's here, and it's now time to tell you about Loctite Impact Windows, Doors, and Roofing. They're
1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
In Miami, we go to the beach for a little solcito, and when we want a low price, you save with your Pricito. Save now with your Pricito at Doral Hyundai. The Dolphins get ready for the Falcons as they come to town this Friday, 7 o'clock. The Marlins swept the Nationals, winning 6-2 yesterday. The Red Sox, they are in Miami for a 3-game series. First pitch tonight at 6:40, and Inter Miami fell to Toronto FC 2-1 over the weekend. This weather report is brought to you by Tornado Roofing and Contracting. Have a leaky roof? Take action now. Get your free estimate, 954-968-8155. Temperature is rising to about 92 today, and you're going to have hit or miss showers. I am Dan Day. Now back to the Joe Rose Show here on 104.3 FM WQAM.
All right, welcome back here for the 9 o'clock hour on a Monday. And by the way, I'm going to hallelujah the last week of preseason football. Now it gets, I'm cool as soon as that last game's over, Saturday night, Friday night. That last game will be over, and it is on to see.
We're at the doorstep. We've almost made it to real football, right?
And you just, hey, I want to see what it's going to look like, who they're interested in. And they'll bring in some guys, that will be, probably some of them will be from South Florida to start with. And see what it looks like and get everybody back and find out who's going to be healthy enough to play in the first game and who's not. And let's go. Let's go see what it looks like against with game plans and no more, well, we just ran a generic defense and we don't want to show anything on offense. And we're still trying some guys out and see how they feel about everybody. The lists are actually fun for the writers in the media to put out your final list of who's in and who's out on the 53, because what happens is, if you've been saying somebody's bad and they don't make the team, you're going, all right, you're on the money on that one. Team felt the same way.
I just think this list of 53, there's such, fragility at the last 10 spots on this roster that it's hard to pick.
It's super thin.
Nobody has enough knowledge to know that when you saw, they got out. Giants had 26 first downs. The Dolphins had 3. Now, these are backups to backups. So you're telling me that the back half of this roster is anywhere near set? It's not. I'm sure, like Omar said, this is almost like a second draft coming up.
You know what really stood out for me, and I know I beat it up on the broadcast the other night, was the pass rush. There's no pass rush. Jameis Winston just stood back there forever in the first half of that game, and they couldn't get there. And they're throwing crossing routes down the field. They went a bunch of short stuff. Guys had time to get in the middle of the field, and there were some big holes. And this is what it makes, when you don't have a pass rush, then you start going, well, maybe our secondary's not that good either, because there was holes all over that defense. Now, they played a lot of zone defense without a pass rush. That is a bad combination. Zone defense and no pass rush. Jameis Winston stood in that pocket and waited. And he's obviously got a lot of talent. He's a first overall pick.
Yeah, but what you want one or the other at least to help out the cornerbacks or the secondary helping out the pass rush or the pass rush helping out the second. And they don't really have anybody proven in the secondary or the pass rush. The strength of the defense is, the defensive tackles and the middle linebackers, right?
Yes.
There's depth at the defensive tackle, and there's real talent, I think, that you've seen at middle linebacker.
The other thing we've been talking about, whether it's Chop or anybody else, you got to be able to stop the run outside. There's got to be run containment. All those guys got caught inside, and that Singletary, the little FAU running back, who's really good. I'm not taking anything away from him. He got shifty, and he put a move on him, and he goes the outside and runs down the sideline for a touchdown. And that's a mental mistake. You can say, well, you got to give the other guy credit for the move. No, you got to be playing that thing outside, knowing that you got all kinds of help inside. And so that was a little frustrating. I'm curious to see how they feel about some of the offensive linemen that graded out pretty well. Does this help them going forward to be the 6th, 7th, and 8th, maybe the 9th offensive lineman on this team. So there's some different.
They graded out well. Is that right?
Actually, I think Campbell and Preeps, I think they got pretty good grades for the amount of time they played.
They need you need 9 linemen. I mean,
I gotta be honest,
if you're contending, but
for anybody just watching the game, you can't grade everybody. You just
yeah.
That's why you go to the Pro Football Fall. Look, you're watching the ball, and I got binoculars, and the guy's dropping back, and you see the pass protection. Now you go to the play, and you watch the ball, and hey, could he have caught it? Was it pass interference? Did the guy in defense make a great play? All these things start to take place.
As someone who sat in press boxes for decades, when I go and watch the game on TV, and I feel like sometimes I'm seeing a different game. Oh, I missed that, and I missed that.
All the
TV
time.
covers it so well. It's such a perfect game to watch on TV.
You know, it's funny because I'm watching the game, and the story there was a hell of a story. Like a guy had 10 tackles in the game. Is Cam Riley. He's 6'5", getting a chance. He's been on the team for like a week. And he hasn't been there very long. He's running around making plays, and I'm bragging. He makes this great play. He comes running across, tackles a guy behind the line of scrimmage, and next play he drops back, and he whiffs on tackling the tight end. And the guy turns and runs up the field and gets a first down. And but he, he had 40-plus snaps in the game. He played a lot. Hell, Steven Dix, who they just signed, and coach is saying, I've never had this happen, telling a guy, hey, by the way, you just got here. Congratulations. You're going to play the whole second half, and you're going to call plays for our defense.
Calling plays, and he said, I think they only ran 2 plays on the defense and something like that in the second half. But the other one was, and I'm trying to look up the names as
Seth Coleman-Lyles.
Thank you.
You didn't talk about the sack.
Yes.
Everybody
Another guy they signed.
Like, who's the new 90? Who's 90 on the team? Yeah, he was waived on August 5th, and they picked him back up. So they brought some guys in.
And I think that's how it's going to be throughout the season. Certainly the first month of the season of picking guys up and that back end of the roster.
Dave, I think they brought some of these guys in just to get through that game. They don't want some guys to get hurt. They want to see it. And they want to get key guys that are going to be on the team. They want to get them out of that game, get them off, and let some of these other guys finish it out. And for them, they're going, I'll take it. I want to put something good out there to show that maybe I can play.
I think that was certainly the case with the quarterback, Gronkowski, the guy who played the second half.
So let me ask you this one. It's a great question. Do they go ahead and get rid of a few guys this week that aren't, or do they just keep them to fill out the third and fourth quarter? A lot of teams do that. We've done that in the past. We put guys in the second half, and you're going, most of these guys won't be on the team.
Well, a lot of times, if you're going to cut somebody now, you're doing them a favor, right? To say, put them out on the waiver so you can hook on with somebody else. But how many?
I think they want playing time.
I agree. How many of these guys right now are going to
get picked up?
They'd rather have playing time here to put something on film and for the chance, if they're going to get cut here, to go somewhere else. But I think, the Dolphins right now are looking around the league at places with surplus. Pittsburgh has surplus quarterbacks. Minnesota and the Patriots surplus receivers. I mean, you can go down the list of seeing, okay, do we have a shot at? Do we want to pick up one of those guys?
It's not just going to be you, though.
Right, a lot of teams.
And the problem besides just that is some teams are going to. This is where the 7th round picks get used. And hey, I'll take a 7th round.
They used one the other day.
Yeah, I'll take a 7th round pick, and you're going, oh shoot, I was hoping they just fall through. But if there's somebody they like and they think it's worth a 6th or 7th, they were on their board before, maybe they'll take a look at them. But it's a weird one, man. It's a tough situation to be in. It would have been trouble to evaluate. I know Coach said they got a lot of good stuff. Coach Hafley said they had a lot of good stuff to watch, and it was good. And I'm thinking, boy, you're watching that thing. 3 first downs, not good for business. Even in a preseason game, it's not good. So
102 total yards.
Not good. I finally got to 100.
211 on third downs. I mean, there's a lot of, and you're going against your backups against their backups. Who are their backups? You know,
well, how about the penalty? Penalties that either gave you crappy field position on special teams or a couple of good offensive plays that got called back by penalties. A couple of runs got called back. So those hurt a little bit. So anyway, we're going to go to break here. We've got more stuff to get to here this morning as we continue on. A week from this Friday, Miami Hurricanes open up. A week from this Friday. The bye week of the NFL is the first game for the Miami Hurricanes going to Stanford with that team. I can't wait.
I'm ready.
I love knowing they got a good team. I do. And I don't know what the O-line, I'm sure they're gonna make some mistakes. It's not going to look early on as good as the offensive line
But they got a schedule that say, okay, we're going to work through some mistakes.
They got a schedule that says we're more than friendly for some young guys that might be playing.
What were the 24.5-point favorites over Stanford?
That's what it was.
I didn't realize Stanford. I knew they weren't good. I didn't know they were that bad.
Well, listen, they're going to be jacked up. They're going to get everybody's best effort. You don't buy that, dude. You gave me that like that radio talk.
That is. No, I know you're always that way, Joe. Last year you were that way. That I don't want to hear that. They got and you were right against Louisville and SMU.
Woody comes on and goes, "Oh man, they're going to just kill everybody." I go, Woody, why do you say that? They've never killed everybody in the ACC. Matter of fact, they play in a lot of close games. We can't even get a backup quarterback any experience. What are you talking about?
But the playoff for me, the last 4 games of the year changed a lot of. I mean, it changed some of my thinking of them. Okay, now I see all the stuff that Mario's been building for years here. It came through there with the talent, the discipline, the structure, the physicality, both lines.
Fourth quarter physical plays what really stood out to me. Really stood out. To see him run the ball like that, that's not UM-like in recent years.
Right.
The year before is throw. You got the best quarterback in the draft, the first overall pick, and you just got that poor. And D wasn't great. Defense, obviously, is this guy Heatherman can coach, by the way. It's one thing to have talent, still got to put him in the right positions, and he is a friggin' coach, man. He is something else. All right, for real, we got to go. Every time I start to tease myself, I go to something else. Man, it's just terrible. Hey, I'll tell you what's really good. Dr. Barry, thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you and your team at Recovery Unplugged for being so good and helping guys with mental health and women with mental health and anxiety. Things that pop up, they're around, they're real. Boy, I'll tell you what, and if you have people in your life going through it and they're not getting some help right now and they need some help, whether it's a broken down marriage, a loss of job, things happen to get you off the road, and sometimes you just can't get back on that road by yourself, and you get in a funk, and you don't want to see people, and you lock yourself in the house. Listen, man, Mental Health Residential Program, they have in Fort Lauderdale is a private, comfortable space for you to really heal. They got some great programs with music-based care that hits the right note every time. They accept most major insurance plans. Call 954-737-4508 or visit recoveryunplug.com. If you're going through it right now and listening to me, or you got somebody you really care about going through it, please tell them about Dr. Barry and his team at Recovery Unplugged so they can meet with you, tell you what it's all about, and get you on a road to recovery and feeling a lot better. 954-737-4508 or visit recoveryunplug.com. This summer, heal out loud. All right, welcome back, and thanks for being with us as we're floating around here. So, the Miami Hurricanes, man, we go from, there's no question, it's just a matter of how do you get everybody in there, how quickly do a handful of young guys that haven't played that much, probably a couple guys on that offensive line. You're asking a couple of pass rushers on the outside to be full-time players and look something like 2 first-round picks you just had, and you're hoping it will happen. But, yeah, they've got some fun players. You look at Lightfoot and Blunt and Wilson. That's pretty good 1, 2, and 3 on the outside. I'm dying to see how they look now that they'll be main guys. Carter coming in with Moten and Scott at the defensive tackle position is going to be a big help as well. And then Cogden and Cantwell, couple of true freshmen, how will they do? And I'm dying to see how Cantwell, I guess this is the week they're going to decide what position he's actually going to play. He's been cross-training. He's a 5-star. He's definitely going to play, though. Check that. He's going to start.
See, they're back to where they were years ago. People thought they'd never get to here again, where they lose 3 number 1 draft picks, a lot of draft picks overall, and they're filling in with highly recruited guys or guys who, like Lightfoot, who you saw something last year and thought, wow, he could be special. And now they're getting their chance, and you know, can they keep it going? I just think it's all set up for them to be contending again.
I know Jason thinks Lightfoot has stupid, ridiculous, natural pass rushing talent.
Well, if there was anybody you would say who's Lightfoot like, it would be Jason, and that he played at 225. I talked to him earlier. He played at 225 last year. Now he's up to 240, I think.
I think all those guys got Blunt. They love all 3 of them. Listen, went out transfer portal, got the best pass rusher, and by the way, a guy from the SEC and Damon Wilson to come in and join them. But that's going to be fun. Those are all young guys to me that are going to get a chance. Damon Wilson's played a lot of football, but the other 2 guys get a chance to really show. And then Scott and Moten, man, as frontline defensive tackles. Frontline. Moten came from Cardinal Gibbons, worked his way into being a hell of a player. I was so glad he came back. And Scott came in as a 5-star. Came in as a 5-star guy. Kind of started the 5-star thing with what they've been able to get.
And Mario's built the team in his own personality, how he looks at football, and it's the lines again first. And you saw it, as you mentioned, in the playoffs last year when physically they took over the games, and now they don't skimp on investing in linemen.
No, everything will always start. It's not sexy to talk about offensive and defensive linemen, but it really sets for all those skilled players to really have success. It really gets it.
But it was sexy in the draft when 2 defensive, both your edge rushers and your right tackle went in the first round.
Yes. Agreed. Nope. No argument. It's always fun, too, to see which 2 or 3 true freshmen on a team that's stacked have a chance to get playing time early in the year. And I don't mean when you're up 40-0 or 35-7. I mean right now. Like, who's got a chance to come in and get some playing time?
Well, the weird thing about this time last year, nobody really knew about Malachi Toney. I think I was on with you, and you'd been out to a practice.
I went to first spring football practice, and he tore it up. He and Joshua Moore tore it up. And I went, you got to be kidding me. And I'd heard about this guy from West Broward. Joshua Moore, the day I went, he must have caught 2 or 3 takeoffs, running by guys. And, it's just, again, it's a maturity thing. Doing it all the time. Once these guys get that thing figured out and they see the light at the end of the tunnel of, like, you can do what those guys that you just saw do and play. I'll tell you one I'm really interested in is Malachi Toney. How is he going to look as a pro?
That is that's interesting. Now he's studied.
He's not going to run super fast. He's not going to be the
run
biggest
fast
guy.
enough, though.
No. And by the way, they're going to watch that tape. I think they're all going to really struggle to figure out where you put Malachi Tony. Not where you put him.
He'll be a great slot receiver, won't he?
How early do you take a Malachi Tony who plays like an NFL player? He's got the heart of an NFL player. He's got toughness. He does the guy's out there blocking. He's got guys ready to fight him every time he goes out to block somebody.
He's out there watching. I talked to him, studying 3 NFL receivers. Antonio Brown's one.
Just on the field.
Yeah, he just looks at what. But the point is, he's a very beyond his work ethic. He gets there at 6 a.m. He's studying film of, okay, here's what I want to borrow. Here's what I want to try from great players.
He's a coach's dream come true.
Yeah,
he takes Gym Rat to a new level. He gets in there when Mario gets in there. They do workout. They're sitting there at 4 a.m. doing workouts together. Like, are you kidding? Why are you there so early? And by the way, when you got a guy that good that does that, how do you not do that if you're those other receivers? That's why they're doing it now.
It all rubs off.
Why those guys are all coming in. I can't wait to see with this receiving core, how they're going to be used, the rotation of them to make sure you get especially the top 5 guys in, and see what it looks like going forward with that whole group for sure. And this Vandravius Jacobs, who could be the burner of the group, in there with Joshua Moore and Upshaw, Barkate, and Malachi. Gonna be fun, man. Gonna be a fun watch for sure. Hey, we got Omar Kelly gonna join us coming up here in just a few minutes here, and we'll talk with the Dolphins. Things to watch and a couple different positions and how he's feeling on guys' chances of making the team. We'll have all that for you coming up next. But first, I want to tell you about Chapman Partnership, the charity work. Oh, my gosh, I love telling you, if you're looking to get involved in a charity that does great work for the homeless, and by the way, I'm not talking about the homeless who are looking for a bite to eat or trying to get them off the street for a little while. I'm talking about unbelievable programs. I'm talking about changing lives, man. That's what Chapman Partnership's all about, providing so much more than housing and a warm meal. They're changing lives daily in our community by going beyond shelter and providing caring support, all these wraparound services and programs. Chapman is really focused on building pathways for success for clients through Transformative Bridge Employment CP Works program. They got some great stuff to help you find a job, help you find a place to live. Half the people stay in our 2 facilities at Chapman Partnership, half of them are families. And so we got a lot of great success stories. The rehab's 3 to 4 months and really helping everything, even babysitting service so mom and dad can go out and look for jobs when they're not in these programs. It's just such great stuff going on. Really make you feel good. And if you want to get involved, from donating money to just coming out and seeing it, I'd recommend everybody go to Chapman Partnership to see the work they're doing. I'm telling you right now, it's so impactful. It's incredible. Let's help support families and individuals overcoming homelessness at Chapman here in 2026. Go online to chapmanpartnership.org and to Bam Adebayo and the Heat. Thank you guys so much for everything you do for Chapman Partnership.